Yo, this well, we're gonna talk about it. I have a whole take on this week without me going into super heavy detail about some of the shit we didn't see.
Oh yeah, no, same. Yo, they are lucky that last night happened, because if last night didn't happen, I might have alienated our entire listenership. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, I have on my notes specifically, I have a specific section that says disclaimer: these starts are not necessarily the thoughts of the Black Culture Geeks podcast. I'm dead serious. I was about to, but then some shit happened yesterday, and I'm like, you know what? I'm a shift gears, because bro,
it is what it is. Yo, like I'm ready for my patio overlooking palm trees now. Like, y'all motherfuckers have I can't. It's not even that I didn't want to help. I can't help. It's too late. Yeah. It's too late. All I can do at this point is keep building the shit that I started to build for the purpose that I'm building it for, and let the chips fall where they may. Yo, me and my wife had a serious conversation last week about the whole situation, the expat shit, and the different options we do have. We got options, you know what I'm saying, especially in a few more years, provided, of course, nothing, because you can never count. Yeah, we live, Biddy. What's up, free thinker? You can't really count on stuff too far in advance, because you don't know what the fuck can happen in between that. But you do got to prepare.
What up, Jonathan?
What's up, Jonathan? You do got to prepare for the future, though, right? As much as you can. And we got options. So hook or by fucking crook. Yeah. Yeah. Because I can't help motherfuckers. I can't. All I can do is tell them. I'm gonna tell them stories, yo. Tell them stories. I'll be the wise Aboriginal dude around the fire.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Tell them motherfucking stories and shit. That's all I can tell you.
Oh goodness.
Motherfuckers is trash. Speaking of trash, where the hell is Addie?
Addie's not coming. You ain't look at the you bugging.
I ain't looking at the what?
You ain't look at the message, the group message.
No, yo, I've been busy. I see the notification and go, I'll check it out. I'll catch up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Eddie's not coming. His reasoning doesn't really make complete sense to me. I'm like, I don't understand it completely. And I asked him for explanation, and he thought he explained, but he didn't. But it is what it is.
I mean, hey, you know,
it's a valid reason.
Yeah, the man got his reason.
My question was really like, why is that happening right now? And he tried to explain it, but it didn't.
He flubbed it.
Work. Yeah, it didn't work. It didn't work.
It didn't translate at all. But it is what it is. I don't know. Is there echo, Biddy? Biddy says she's got some sort of echo or something. And I know on my end,
I don't hear it.
You are delayed. Your video is a little delayed, and you got some of the robot thing going on. That
I don't know what that is.
Shit.
I have no idea.
I don't know either. I wonder if it's connected to the fact that your camera was doing that craziness.
No, because that happened last week.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I don't know what it is, or it could be the signal in your area.
That's possible.
It could be that big dumbass dumpster out there fucking up shit.
Well, I'm fairly certain it's not a dumpster.
No,
I'm fairly certain it's not a dumpster.
Nah, that's fortunate, I guess.
I mean,
I'm just saying those signal have a little problem getting through that thick metal and shit, blocking something, causing some interference.
I don't think that's quite how that works.
That's not how. No.
I'm just not. I'm not certain.
I was curious because
I get it, but I don't.
I'm trying to look at all options here. That is, by the way, the part of the theme of past week. Look at that other options. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to do that because there are times, ladies and gentlemen, there are times when someone or some group or whatever, or society in general, tries to hand you a shit sandwich and says, this is the only sandwich in town. You must consume it because this is all there is. And it's not really true in a lot of cases. In some cases, sure. But a lot of the times, there are other sandwiches other than shit sandwiches. You got pumpernickel. Like, is this shit you can do besides eat a shit sandwich?
Well, that's stupid.
What's that? Are you watching it on the actual live stream feed?
No, I'm looking at the. Hold on. I think it's trying to decide if it wants to use Wi-Fi or not. And
shit!
I don't want you to.
What you mean, your computer?
The StreamYard.
That's odd.
Yeah, I don't want you to use Wi-Fi. I'm connected with an
Ethernet
cable.
Yeah. Stop playing your whole life.
Yeah.
Seems that's probably what it is.
All right, let me see.
I'm glad nowadays we don't really have as many tech issues as we used to have, right? So there you go. And you look like, well, no, you're not moving.
No, I'm moving my hand.
Oh, okay. There's still a delay over here, though. I'm still seeing a delay. How I break it? I'm all the way over here.
Fuck
it. So is it saying that it's now has it figured out what
device? It's still saying the same. It's still saying the same thing. StreamYard, get it together.
Yeah. And I used this the other day to record something. Jonathan says maybe drop Wi-Fi and LAN is good. But I used it the other day and didn't have any issues because I had to record something. Didn't have any issues. So I don't know. I don't know what it is. Free Thinker says I'm the only one not lagging. Well, I generally don't be lagging.
Oh, shut up. You deep, purposeful, incredible buffoon.
Yo, that is a straight up Scottish type of insult, yo. Yo, when Trump went over there and did that little speech thing some years ago, and the Scottish people did not really like that a whole lot. Some of the shit he said, all over Twitter, they were going at his ass with some of the most inventive insults I have ever seen anywhere online. Hey, special space.
I think I'm about to cut it off again. Hold up.
And try it again.
Yeah, hold up.
Yeah. So pardon us, folks, while we figure out or attempt to figure out these tech issues. We don't usually have a bunch of tech issues anymore, but every so often they pop up. And it's definitely on his end, but I don't know exactly what it is. And I don't know why StreamYard is forcing him. Well, can't make up its mind which signal to grab onto, but hopefully we can figure that out. That's interesting. Special Space says turn off your Xbox updating. That's actually hilarious. That's actually hilarious. You said that's what eats your bandwidth, your Xbox. Now, you know what's funny about that? So I'm mostly a PC gamer now. I'm mostly a PC gamer, but I do have a PlayStation 5. Just got a PlayStation 5 because my wife, she just be on it like that, right? So I do play that a little more now only because I'm playing the remastered version of Spider-Man, the Spider-Man game, which looks amazing, by the way. It looks absolutely incredible. As a matter of fact, I would hazard to say that
No, you wouldn't.
I absolutely would.
I don't believe you.
You should. It's in your best interest. You know what I'm saying? That's in your best interest. Okay, so special message just when it's downloading or updating shit. Games are fine on the network. That's interesting. That's interesting. I haven't seen any sort of issue with the PS5, but like I said, I don't play it an awful lot. I might play it for maybe an hour in the morning. So, you know, because I'm to further the Spider-Man story, play a chapter, put it down or whatever. But I have noticed it just don't feel the same. I'm a PC gamer now. Consoles don't have the same draw. The only way a console will have that sort of draw is if it's an exclusive I absolutely cannot get on a PC. And in that case, the best case scenario is one of the newer systems now, because at least the hard drives they're using now are like PC, the gaming PC, you know, drive or whatever. But
I don't believe you.
I mean, not listen, it's on these two specific games. There's only ones I can vouch for. No, three. Only three I can vouch for. God of War, remastered Spider-Man, and the Miles Morales Spider-Man. That shit looks PC quality. It operates PC quality.
That's only because you haven't played them on the PC.
That might be true. No, I've actually played. I should have added Red Dead Redemption. I played Red Dead Redemption on the PC. It's comparable, but it's still PC is still got it. I see certain light source and things that PC is able to do, especially with the ray tracing.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm just about to go do a search for ray tracing and see what games have it and just download them.
Yeah, it's facts. Like with that rate, like that does add to it. But I've played No Man's Sky on the PS5 and I've played it on the PC. It's not close. It's still not close. It's just not. The only thing I would say is that because the No Man's Sky was ported over to PC, there are certain little glitches that the PC version has that the PS5 version doesn't have. And that's really only one thing that I saw, and that was flying from surface to space, surface of planet to space. There's still a small little freeze, like little stutter before you go into space on the PC. That does not exist on the PS5. But graphically, it's not even close, yo. Like on the PC, graphically, it looked like you could take your two fingers, put them through the screen, and pull the spaceship out the screen.
Okay, all right.
PC.
All right, man.
It just does, man.
All right, so games that you may or may not be familiar with that have ray tracing. Far Cry.
I have Far Cry 5. I don't have Far
Cry 6. 6 is the one that has the ray tracing.
Now, see, I do want to get 6 because 6 is they based the location of that on a tropical island. Like that's what kind of like Cuba or whatever, right? So yeah, I want to get that.
Dirt 5. Dirt is I think a motorcycle racing game.
I've played one of the other Dirts before.
Battlefield.
I used to play Dirt all the time as a kid.
Shut up. Battlefield 5. Is that the one we got for free?
I don't think so.
You sure?
Yeah, I think it was the one Battlefield before that, if I'm not mistaken.
Quake 2. Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
I have Shadow. I think I have Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
It has ray tracing support now.
Nah, that's not true.
I'm looking at it. It's a list of games that have ray tracing support.
Do I have Shadow?
Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Damn it. I do
Fortnite, which I'm never playing.
I could have sworn I had Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Minecraft.
I got it on my Epic account, not on the Steam.
Minecraft, which I've actually used, and it's fucking beautiful. It's gorgeous.
Huh.
Resident Evil Village.
Oh, the one that just came out.
Yeah,
not that long ago.
Yeah. Yeah, that came out in May. F1 2021.
About the driving game? Formula?
Yeah. There's an Avatar game that's about to come out.
I have to make up my mind to see if that's something I would want to mess with.
It's open world.
Oh, then I'll definitely seriously.
Interesting.
You know, I love open world. Yo, I love open world games.
Absolutely.
Because I like the exploration part of it.
I have no idea what this game is, but I'm just assuming from the name it's called Stalker 2. So I'm guessing it's some type of stealth involved. And if you add that with ray tracing, that's going to be amazing. Because shadows and light and
they just remastered the Crisis trilogy.
Oh wow.
All three of them, which is crazy.
Witcher 3.
Y'all could have sworn I had Shadow of the
Not
Tomb Raider.
out yet.
Mm-hmm.
But it's coming out, and it'll have ray tracing support.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, Witcher 3. It's a very short list right now.
Yeah, well, the technology is still kind of new, and I gotta say, with all of the bullshit that's been happening with the delays in you know, graphics cards and shit like that.
Yeah,
you know that they may not be in a super rush.
Yeah,
because not a lot of people can get the cards that they want.
Absolutely,
when they want it. So that could definitely be it.
There are several on the console. There are more on the consoles.
What you mean? Games that have ray tracing?
Yeah.
So wait a minute, PS5 has ray tracing?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Miles Morales has it.
It looks insane. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah.
It looks crazy.
Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart has it. I'm sure it looks amazing.
Yeah.
2K21 has it, apparently. NBA 2K21. That's interesting.
Why would that need it?
I don't know, but he got it.
That's kind of crazy.
Gran Turismo 7 is not out yet, but it will have it when it comes out.
See, now I got to get Shadow of the Tomb Raider, yo. I could have sworn I had it, but I didn't. I have these other Tomb Raider type games. I got Tomb Raider. I got Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
And I have...
But not Shadow.
I don't have Shadow, yo.
That's crazy.
And I got the Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris and Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light, which I don't even play these games. But I know
had the first one in the reboot. I can't remember which title that was. I had it, and
first one to reboot. I think that wasn't Tomb Raider. It was before Tomb Raider. It may have been Rise.
It might have been Rise. Yeah, I had that, and I actually liked it, but it was just at a time where like I wasn't really playing the game like that. So
you ain't really have the time.
Nah, so it fell by the wayside. But I liked the gameplay that I actually did play.
I feel like I really need to get Shadow of the Tomb Raider now. I really do.
Yeah.
It's cheap. It's cheap too. It's like only $40.
Just thinking about that game, it'll look amazing, I'm sure.
Yeah, right. Like,
it better be cheap. It came out in 2018.
That's true. It's only like $40, but it's a sale though. 50% off with a bundle. For the
okay.
it's the definitive edition of it. You know, deluxe extras, whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean. You know what I'm saying? I don't know exactly what that's supposed to mean, but I like it. You know what I'm saying? I like it. And they selling a whole bundle collection for $97.29. Which, if you into Tomb Raider like that's a deal. That's
Absolutely.
a deal.
It's got good ratings too. 7.5 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 4 out of 5 stars.
Very positive reviews on Steam too.
Yeah. 6 out of 10. That's an aberration. 4 out of 5 stars, 9 out of 10, 84 out of 100, 7 out of 10. Yeah.
It's not bad, right?
Not at all. Aggregate scores in the high 70s, low 80s. So that's, yeah. Excuse me.
Oh, this shit
Interesting.
This shit look, yeah, all right.
You know,
I'm about to jump on that.
You know, Crystal Dynamics worked on it.
See, here's the thing about Crystal Dynamics, right? Here's the thing about Crystal Dynamics. I ain't had no beef with them
right
until the way they handled the Avengers game. Biddy says, I love Tomb Raider. The Rise was last one I played. Got to get back in the game and again. Been off it for a while. No, that's understandable though, because
that's how that goes.
We kind of been like that too. You know what I'm saying? Like we had certain key games that we would always play, but that whole just gaming. Oh, this new came out. Let me get it. No, I ain't really been on that.
Yeah, that slowed down.
Free Thinker said he can't wait for Modern Warfare 2.
I would love to get back into Call of Duty through Modern Warfare 2. I would absolutely love that.
Yeah, it's just hard for me. Like, it's hard for me to do that shit now. It's just hard. But
Shadow won a bunch of, well, not a bunch, but like several awards too.
Wow. Special Space says, I foresee a change in the way we consume cinema very soon. When graphics are hyper real, we'll be able to experience a movie from anywhere within the scene. The viewer decides. You know, I actually saw a YouTube video discussing that very thing a while ago, talking about how cinema is bound to evolve to a point where it's way more interactive, and we've seen them attempt to do that at certain,
and it failed every time,
and failed miserably. Like, yo, the one they had up Arundel Mills, when he had the little thing that make you shake and do all that 4D
shit. Yeah,
it was for dumb. It was for dumb.
But it will eventually happen.
It will. That you're gonna see a lot of failures at first.
Yeah,
that's how it works.
Yeah,
how it works.
That's pretty much how innovation works, unless you get lucky.
Unless you get lucky, right? But no, that's definitely going to happen.
Oh yeah, no question.
I just don't know what direction that's going to take, because some was saying, well, maybe a form of VR. The problem with VR, and I love VR, I love the potential of it, but the problem with VR is you have to make the technology where it's not cumbersome. Yeah, that's the whole issue for me anyway. Is that the level of comfort that someone needs to be in to be on it for hours and hours and hours, I don't believe is there just yet. And you know, technology moves forward. If we don't fucking kill ourselves, or if we don't let a virus mutate and kill us, you know what I'm saying, or make it just intolerable to do anything, damn thing.
Yeah.
If climate change or whatever doesn't swoop down and just dismantle us, or finally some aliens get sick of our bullshit from catching signals, and maybe the final straw was the black culture geese. And it's like, you know, that's it.
It's possible. I ain't gonna hold you. That's absolutely possible.
They don't deserve to be here. We blowing them up. Like,
it's a thing.
It's almost a guarantee that
we'll get there.
We'll get to that's gonna, because one thing about entertainment, they're always gonna put more R&D dollars in frivolous shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're always gonna do that. So we can get that dopamine surge out of y'all. Like that's always going to be a thing. So I have no doubt of it. I don't know if I'll be here for all of that shit, but I want to be here for some of it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? All facts.
I want to be here for some of it.
All right. God damn it, start the show.
I guess we need to start the show. Gotta clear my throat. I do some voiceover work.
Right. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. You're a big superstar.
me.
See, diva.
Welcome everyone to the Black Culture Geeks podcast. This is my man SPJ. I am Tombstone the Dead Man, and we are just a couple of geeks talking about pop culture from a black perspective. Now, facts indeed. Conspicuous by his absence.
Yeah.
Adequate will not be joining us on the show today. He has some things to take care of.
Very important things.
Very important things. So since he had to handle that today, he will not be on the show. But do not fear. I still will be trolling
fear
from here. I still will be trolling him from here. So don't worry. You're gonna get your Addy trolls. Gonna get the Addy trolls in. But we do have some things that I guess we want to talk to you about today. A lot less than what was going to be. But before we do any of that other stuff, gotta tell you how our week went. Now I know SPJ has a take on this week. I'm gonna throw mine in real fast.
Yeah, go ahead. Do your thing.
So this week has been very enlightening, and I shouldn't even really actually use the term.
I think that's a bad word. Yeah, I think that's a bad word
because
you knew.
I knew. Like if you go back to my old memories on Facebook, past stuff that I post from 10 years ago, right? Like this was a thing that was very predictable for anyone that pays attention to society. But maybe a better word than enlightened would be just reaffirmed. Things that I saw happening with people and the way people think in various different ways. Like the level of phoniness that I had to see about people getting pissed because Jonathan Kent is bi.
Bruh.
It's some of the phoniest shit I've ever seen. People make it, and I see this happen all the time. I saw this happen with the whole gay marriage debate. I saw people who I never heard had a problem with institutionalized marriage before, all of a sudden saying, well, see, I don't like institutionalized marriage anyway. The moment gay people wanted to get married, right? This is the same phoniness I'm seeing, right? In that case, they were saying how this was going to ruin the institution of marriage, as if 50% of all marriages ending in divorce under the watch of heterosexuals didn't already. All the infidelity, the spousal abuse, spousal neglect, emotional carnage that then took place under just heterosexual marriage being legal. And somehow gay people was going to mess up.
That was going to be the final show.
That was going to be the thing that was going to put the nail in the coffin of that shit. Much in the same way as this, I saw a bunch of professed comic book geeks running around this motherfucker talking about, we don't care about the sexuality and these comic book cartoons. Meanwhile, you literally have Superman saving Lois's ass because he's in love with her, marrying her, them having kids. What the episode? Say it again. Episodically. Like there's literally thousands of stories we would not have if not for the sexuality of the characters. Why? Because especially look, I get to say this now as a comic book writer. We try, even with all the fantasy stuff that's going on, to make them whole people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's part of humanity.
Let me interject real quick.
Yes.
The posing.
Oh, my goodness.
Dude. Because, number one, The idiocy, reading a headline and not bothering to look at the fucking article.
Right.
DC is turning Superman gay. Superman has always been straight. Not that Superman, dumbass. Number two.
Boy.
Yeah, DC is turning Superman gay. Superman has always been in love with Lois Lane. No, the fuck he hasn't.
You guys don't,
y'all don't read comic books.
Do you even read?
Stop posing.
Right. It's corny. It's corny. Like it's so corny. So here's the thing, you knaves. Jonathan Kent was introduced to us at 10 years old, 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
At 10 years old, of course, they wasn't focusing on his sexuality in the book. What kind of games y'all on? Oh, I get it. The same games that defend R. Kelly. Nonetheless, I'm gonna leave that over there because that's actually part of all of this too. But I'm gonna leave it over there for now. Yo, so now 6 years later, he's old enough for them to explore that for the first time. So for y'all to say they changed, they didn't change shit. They didn't even explore it. He was friggin' 10.
Yeah.
You absolute incredible douchebags.
You fucking plebeians.
Like it's so fucking dumb, but I see all the rewriting of history and what we care about.
Hold up. Special space. Yes. It's a good parallel to relate with when superpowered individuals struggle with the human condition.
Right.
That is called natural drama. It writes itself.
Right. It's just, I feel like the phoniness comes from people being afraid to say how they actually feel right now.
Bruh.
You're trying to go all around the mulberry bush, all around Dixbond to not say what's so obvious. And when we call you out and say, yo, what's your real problem with that? This is when we get that stupid shit about just fight the supervillains. We don't care about when we all these stories of Spidey loves MJ and shit.
Right.
We got Spidey loves Black Cat and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, y'all full of shit. Y'all so full of shit. It's coming out of your ears.
Spider-Verse, what people are hailing the best Spider-Man movie of all time.
Mm-hmm.
One of the central plots was Miles and Gwen Stacy.
Yeah.
That's one of the central plots of the damn.
They being phony.
I don't like y'all.
Yo, right. They're so fucking phony. So phony. And then I see people who should know better with some of these arguments. At least I assume so. And maybe that's me giving them more credit than what they actually deserve.
I think that's what it is, man.
That's what it is.
That shit too.
You know, I'm expecting like, yo, this is not rocket science. Again, must we repeat on this show? If we're the smartest guys in the room, we're in trouble. Everything's in trouble. Everything's in shambles. Like some of these arguments is terrible that they're making, and they can't see how hypocritical they are about the shit. So I saw my folks co-signing arguments they would not co-sign if it was used on them. Whatever way you feel or don't feel about Dave Chappelle's stand-up, when it comes to using certain arguments that have historically been used against you to shield others from criticism about abusing and discriminating against you, to have you all of a sudden think that's something that's cogent and valid, I gotta say, if kicking yourself in your own ass was a person, it would be all of you. Why? When you validate certain arguments that you know will be used to discredit or diminish things that's happening to you, you keep them alive and you validate them. So now, what I can't hear from some of these people anymore, is I can't hear them calling other people racist for saying things like, but I have a black friend.
Right.
Y'all can't make that argument anymore if you accept that for another marginalized group, that somebody can be shielded from criticism simply because they just announced that they have a friend in the group that they're talking shit about. That's enough to shield them. Is it? Because that's never been the narrative for anybody else up until now. And the reason you're using it.
Real quick. You are amazing. You are a national treasure, special face. I understand your point, but we've just reached a point where we are fed up with all the book. It's an extension of that.
Yeah.
That is what it is. It's an extension of that.
Yeah, it is. I like some of the shit that they're saying is absolutely absurd. I'm like, you don't see how this will be turned around on you. You don't see how this will be turned around on you. The reason y'all coming up with this goofy shit is to dance around saying what you really want to say.
Bruh.
Just come out and say it. Just come out and say it. You'll feel better. We'll know.
I'd rather know.
Right.
I'd rather know.
Right.
Here's the thing. You're telling me already.
Right.
Why not just keep it real with everybody?
Right. Like, I forget. I'm trying to find the exact quote. Malcolm X said when he said
shit, by the way.
he has, but he was talking about he'd much rather have somebody say what they think. He has more respect for a man to say what he think, even if he's wrong, than a man who presents himself and comes up to him as an angel and is nothing but a devil. And some of y'all that I saw this week were avoiding saying the obvious. So I'm going to say it for you right now, because this is what you're thinking. Being gay, being lesbian, being whatever that's in the alphabet group is morally wrong. Yuck, it's icky. And I don't like people that are that way. I'm saying it for you because you won't say it because you know there's certain societal cost. People going to hit, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, so I'm going to say it for you. That's what you actually want to say. And that's why any other arguments that ordinarily make a whole lot of sense for every other group, they suddenly don't apply to them. It suddenly don't apply to them because y'all still think that way. And what happened was the shift in society came faster than a lot of y'all was ready for. And some of y'all didn't even think it was going to happen. So y'all got caught with your pants down, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got caught with your pants down. So now there's this tolerance thing. There's this tolerance thing happening now, right? There's this tolerance thing that you was not prepared to deal with. You have not done the work to work yourself through being tolerant of these people. So what happens is when you see them on TV, you're enraged. Mm-hmm. And you say they're trying to normalize that stuff. What if I told you that's what they should be doing? What if I told you you always have the choice to just not watch the show? What if I told you that this is the exact same thing they did with black people during the late 60s and the 70s? They start showing more of us on television. Why? Because there was huge swaths of the American population that was still segregated, and some people went through half their lives and never met a black person in their life. And all of these new laws and stuff that was making the attempt at some form of equality, they didn't work though. But that's besides the point. All these new laws, they was like, all right, well, you can make a law all day long, but if people are unfamiliar, they're going to do what people do with other people they're unfamiliar with. So maybe if they start right by default, xenophobic, right? So expose them more to the populace, and people get comfortable saying like these regular people just like us. They just got extra melanin. The regular people just like us. This is the exact same thing they did during the late 60s and the 70s here in the United States. But for some reason, this don't apply to them, right? Y'all phony as shit when you tell me you don't see the parallels. You're phony. You don't want to see them because you think somehow by acknowledging that some other group was discriminated against, it somehow lessens whatever your movement. No, that's not what's lessening the movement. I got to tell you, there are a lot of reasons why the LGBTQ plus movement got the traction it got, and how movements in the Black community did not get that same amount of traction, or at least the extended amount of traction. It may have little short spurts, but it didn't have this extended thing. Because quite frankly, we are one group, whereas the LGBTQ plus literally can consist of all nationalities everywhere.
Yeah.
And the reality is, especially in this country, if you have white people that's involved with something like that, they're going to get it moving a lot faster than Black people are, as evidenced by our own civil rights struggle in this country, which was hugely benefited by white folks. That's when white folks seeing that this was wrong and being a part of the movement and using their privilege, their societal privilege, to move some of this shit along.
That's how that works.
That's how that works.
That's how being an ally works.
That's how being an ally works. And also, if you're a minority in this country, Black people are a minority. You don't have the numbers. So guess what happens politically? Right. So you need people from the dominant demographic to say, hey, that's some bullshit that's happening to them. Let me get over here and say that. Let me get over here and say that.
Way too often people strictly box the word minority into numbers.
Yes,
sure, we are the numerical minority. We are also the minority in power.
Yeah.
Those are two separate issues that work together.
Right. So you got to get people that are part of the majority to see that there is a problem and actually want to fix it.
Right.
In the case of the LGBTQ plus, all nationalities are in that group. Specifically, people amongst the dominant demographic in the United States, which is white folks. So that's why that movement got all that traction. Now, if you're jealous of it, I certainly understand it.
Absolutely.
I get it. You feel like, yo, we've been suffering through this shit, going through these bullshit. We can't even get. I get that. However, the solution is not to be mad at them. Because if we're honest, there's certain things that we didn't do that we should have done or should have been more consistent doing that would have helped a lot. And some of that shit y'all won't do. I had SBJ this week. I had to see people once again posting nonsense about vaccinations. I saw it. I see you. We see you. This is the thing that I just have to put this out here without going into any of the detail about all that other shit, because we've talked about that before, right? Please pardon me, but if you truly believe that the United States government, who I am not a fan of, anybody knows me knows that, if you truly think they're out to kill you, purposely, willfully, out to kill you, why are you still here?
Right.
And why when somebody like me that says any other time, yo, I don't want to live here anymore. I'm trying to get my shit together so that I can fucking move. From these same people that believe that the United States government is out to kill them. This is being, for the record, being out to kill you is way different than not caring if you die.
Yeah.
Right? Those are two separate things. Hugely different. Being out to kill you or not caring if you die is two different things. All right. So these same people, any other time when I mention the fact that, yeah, I'm getting the fuck up out of here, got all kind of defenses about why I should.
Well, why would you leave? How could you do? You can't do that. What? No, it won't be as good.
Right. It's dangerous. It's dangerous in them other really, because it's interesting that you say that. Interesting you say that when I just literally lost friends the other week.
I am a black man.
Keep going.
You want to talk about danger? I am a black man in the United States of America. You can pull up a bunch of statistics to express why. I'm pretty sure I'll take my chances elsewhere. Like, what are we even talking about here? It really gets on my nerves. You guys are, I can honestly say, for the first time out of all the time that I've been doing this show, I'm not up for these are the times, and it doesn't happen often. It just happens when a groundswell happens. These are the times where I regret the fact of how observant of a person I am. And it's annoying as hell. It's bad. You should feel bad about it. Oh, okay, you're back.
Yeah, wifey's not feeling good, so she ordered some stuff. I had to go get that, make sure she got it, so she had to get up and get it. Yeah, but y'all, y'all still here. Imagine that. Yeah. And y'all trying to talk me down. Talk about how dangerous. I literally lost people a couple of weeks ago from street violence.
Right.
You know how many friends I've lost? I've been losing friends from the violence in this country, since the 6th grade.
Yeah.
Y'all got all these reasons for why you I don't know. But you just said they're out to kill you. They're trying to put a jab in your arm and take you out. I've heard everything from, it's to decrease our lifespan. Because they all, of course, the government being the government, they know exactly when you're going to die. You know, y'all.
No, yo. The funniest one I heard was from the boy talking about, watch, everybody that got that vaccine and none of them going to live to see 70.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Hey, what? What do you? So specifically 70. Like, so on your 69th birthday,
it's over. That's it for you. It's a wrap. Ladies and gentlemen, my mother-in-law is 70. See, this is the shit. Hey, by the way, everyone in my house is vaccinated. Right. Everyone in my house is vaccinated. They had all of the predicted side effects.
Yeah.
That they said you would have the day after, sometimes a little sooner than that, depending on your particular system. They had all of that, and they got over it the next day, and they're going about their life, doing the shit that they've been doing forever. Right. With a little extra layer of protection from you filthmongers who they had to tell in 2020 to wash their hands after they got out of the bathroom. Yeah. They told y'all that. And the same brain that doesn't make the connection to wash their hands after wiping your ass and getting fecal matter in your fingernails, you incredible baboon. Right? Those same people are now telling us about, if you just do stuff to boost your immune system, you won't need the vaccine. Not realizing that this helps to boost your immune system against that specific. So this week, like I said, has been one of those weeks that really confirmed in my mind. I can't help. It's not that I don't want to and didn't want to, as evidenced by the career I've had musically and content creation wise. I've wanted to help. I can't help because it's too late. Right? Like maybe if I was born 100 years earlier.
Right.
But then no, because in this country, if I was born here,
you
know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
So there was never any chance for me to be able to help.
Yeah.
And I came to that realization that what I want now, because I got to think about what I want and what I need at this point in time, and what my family and friends, my circle of people, what we want and we need at this certain time. And I got to say what I want and what I need right now, more than having these discussions all of the time. When I scroll up and down my timeline and see people with this stupid shit, what I want and need more than anything is this. Like,
okay,
fuck. Right. Go ahead, do what y'all want to do.
Helpful.
Do what y'all want to do. I'm gonna continue to write stories, write songs, make music, be creative, and I'm of course always say shit. Oh, I'm gonna always talk about you apes in my music. That's the thing. It's got to happen. No way it's got to happen. But
unfortunately, we're stuck with that.
Look, it just is what it is with that. that is a mainstay that's going to continue to happen. But far as me,
you shall not pass.
They shall not pass. But as far as these personal engagements and interactions with some of you absolute morons, I have better things to do. And as a benefit to the side of that, my not focusing on that allows me to focus on content, which means music, which means us shooting pilot episodes of different series that we trying out, which means comic book stuff. Hey, sis, my sister is in the building.
Hey,
give me one of these. Yeah. One of these. Special Space says, if you want to protect you from COVID, vaccinate. Hard stop. There's no others involved in the vaccination equation.
If only it was that simple that people would hear stuff like that and be like, oh, okay.
I no longer listen. Y'all gonna do what y'all gonna do.
Yeah.
You about to do what?
I'm about to put that song out so I can officially start talking about this shit.
Yeah. I'm just uber. This week has definitely been one of those weeks that had my head doing this the whole time. Like, I knew y'all was gonna do this. I knew y'all was gonna act like this. I knew y'all was gonna say shit like that. I knew y'all was gonna use that dog shit ass argument. I knew y'all were gonna be this way. I knew you were gonna be this way, and that's and you did nothing but confirm. Yo, it's so crazy going back in my Facebook memories and seeing some of the shit that I observed back then. Hey, this is about to start. Hey, this is about to start. Hey, this is about to start.
Right.
And to see it start. Hey, mommy. Hey, mommy. My mother is watching or listening or whatever. but look, I knew you guys were going to do this. I knew you were going to act like that about these things. And I knew this funny thing is, I see a bunch of people who just back in 2012, 2011, maybe going forward, was so pro science.
Yeah.
Yo, I literally had a bunch of people on my YouTube channel talking about how pro science they were. I watched them do that. Pro science, it's about science. I see some of these same people now not so pro science. Where'd that go? Because my energy is the same. My energy is the same now as it was then. Pro science. What are you talking about? If somebody comes along and tries to spin some yarn that the world is flat, you're ridiculous. What are you talking about?
But yeah, I mean,
any scientific principle, discovery, whatever that you can name. Someone comes along with some opposite of that. Yo, please present your data.
Right.
To say that this is what you say it is, because there's literally a mountain of evidence over here on this side, not just some assertions being made by some guys in lab coats wearing glasses. We got experimental data.
Right.
Demonstrable evidence. So where is yours? If you coming from this opposite end of the spectrum, where is your evidence for that? Because anything that can be asserted without evidence, I'm going to dismiss without evidence. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. I see a lot of these same people now, but not that same energy. And I go, okay. So noted. So noted.
Special space, the answer is never. Because the issue that we're talking about permeates our government. It permeates everything.
Yeah. This is a human thing.
Yeah.
I'm more and more convinced this is a human thing. And like I've cautioned people before, when they talk about the government, they talk about it like it's this mindless entity set off outside of time and space that has literally no connection to what's happening.
No bias and none
of that.
No, it's not. It's still filled of humans.
The same humans, by the way, that came from the same society as all them people that when you go on those websites, those news websites, and you see some of the absolute stupid comments in the comment section.
The same species are running the country.
They come from that same society saying all that nonsense. They run that too. So guess what you're going to find?
It's the exact reason that we have checks and balances, because the people that were doing it were smart enough to realize that we're still humans.
Right.
That even doesn't solve the issue, but it helps mitigate it.
Right. Right. You're going to have anti-science people that get elected to these positions. And you're going to have almost every type of person that you think would be bad for society get into those positions. This is the nature of how it works. And as soon as people start to realize, that you're only going to be able to pick from the pool that's there, like you're only going to pick from the pool of people that's there, the more they'll stop looking at the government like it's this faceless, mindless entity that's beyond their control. The people are supposed to have control, but the issue is when groups of people have access to resources and power and control over who gets what and who doesn't get this, who gets this and who doesn't get that, they can literally control the narrative. They can pump out whatever narrative they want. You know, it's just that simple. I think the reason why labeling mental health issues is still very taboo is because you got a lot of uninformed, uneducated people on the topic trying to label everything that. That's what it is. It's a lot of people who, again, this is about the death of expertise that we see happening all over the place. It's about the death of expertise. Because now people out here truly believe that their ignorance is the equivalent to somebody else's hard-earned, hard-worked-for knowledge. People don't want to do the work, so they run around and go, oh, this is that, this is that, this is that, labeling shit that they haven't even been schooled on what those things actually mean. So I think the reason why that became taboo, labeling things that, is because you had a lot of people who are not in a position to really know what any of those terms mean, calling everything that. That's it. That's it, free thinker. Ignorance is the lead. Experts get pushed to the side and demonized. And people act like that's not a political choice too, but it is. That's a political choice to demonize the experts. And a lot of these are going to be real life choices for a lot of you. Like real life and death choices for a lot of you beyond just the whole COVID thing. These are that mentality that somehow there's equality in ignorance, not knowing something versus knowing something, that somehow they're on the same playing field. Because some of y'all gonna get chafed sitting on the fence like that about that shit. Y'all gonna get chafed as shit sitting on the fence like that. There's other consequences that's gonna happen in your life, thinking that you know some stuff that you don't know. Go fix your brake shoes, and you don't know how to do it. Go ahead. I dare you in your car. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I dare you.
Do any of the things. Do any of the things that you don't have experience doing successfully. Or
the knowledge.
Right.
You only had a book smarts on it.
Right.
You only had that.
You ain't even sitting there watching a YouTube video.
Yo, it is appalling to see the level of apologetics that I've seen being used to defend the ignorant and these ignorant choices from people who I know 10 years ago wasn't on that.
Right.
The apologetics, you're not helping them. You not helping them. You not helping them with that. I saw that take place a decade ago, and I saw people saying it don't matter what people believe in. I saw that happen 10 years ago. Yo, generally, it's a good thing to believe in more factual things than believe in things that are not factual. Generally, that's
or at least what's the word I'm looking for? Or at least inconsequential things.
Yes. Like generally, that's probably better for society for more people to believe in things that are actually true than things that are not. You know what I'm saying? But somehow,
it's the conflation of opinion and fact.
There it is. I saw people I came up in this content space with a bunch of people who was on that. People that went to DC with me on a march for science. You feel me? I see some of these same people letting cover to ignorance now. And I'm like, okay, but just know what happens next. That's on you too. And no, you can't hit me with, but I know better than that. Yeah, but you lent cover to those of them that didn't. You lent aid and comfort to ignorance. Both people spewing it and people buying into it. So whatever happens as a result of that to your society, you did that too. You just as responsible. You can point your finger at them all you want, but you just as responsible. You lent cover for it. You thought it was cool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just that simple. So y'all can play games and act like it's all the same. Someone who doesn't know something is the same as someone that does. Y'all can play that game all day long, but eventually it's going to catch up with you. And some would argue it's doing that now. You know what I'm saying? It's catching up with you now. But anyway, a little longer than I thought it was going to go. But that's what I've learned this week. Maybe we ought to start calling shit that. What did you learn this week? What did you learn this week?
All right. So I had a whole thing that I was going to do. I'm letting y'all know because y'all got saved. Y'all lucky. I'm letting y'all know what was coming.
It was coming.
If you actually watch the show, long time listener, all of that good stuff.
First time call, a long time listener.
Okay. You know that my role generally on the show is to bring things back to even. And to try to be the hypothetical voice of reason, because of course Tim doesn't generally speak outside of reason, but just hypothetical. I'm the voice of reason on the show. I tend to try to make things lean towards positive and all that other good shit.
Yeah.
Today, for the majority of the week, the mindset that was going to happen on this show today was, we're not going to get that. Y'all were not going to get that. Y'all were going to get the raw, unfiltered, unmitigated opinion. Opinion, because at the end of the day, the vast majority, I ain't gonna say the vast majority, a good chunk of what I was going to say would have still fell into the realm of opinion.
No, I feel you.
But then some stupid shit happened in my life last night, and that kind of changed that around.
Right.
Sometimes it needs to rain. I'm glad you said that, free thinker, because when that happened, I completely changed everything around. But then Tim got me hyped up again. So I'm still not going to do what I was going to do originally, because that could have potentially led to the end of the show. But I am going to do a shorter, nicer version of that. And I'm going to do that first because that's what Toon was part of. A lot of it is around the same stuff Toon was talking about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad you said that, Biddy. So, disclaimer. Everything I'm about to say is from my mind, my thoughts. They are not necessarily the thoughts of Black Culture Geeks podcast. They're not necessarily the thoughts of Tombstone the Dead Man. They're not necessarily the thoughts of Adequate. They are not necessarily the thoughts of multi-world entertainment.
Speak your mind.
I hate all of you. And this week really formed why. And it's different levels. So if you hear something that I say and you feel offended by it, first stop to think how real I'm being.
Right.
Second, understand that there are levels. I'm not going to hold your hands. I'm not going to tell you what level of annoyance this particular thing is.
Right.
They all are annoyances. Some of them are very minuscule.
Right.
Some of them are DEFCON 1.
Yeah.
Y'all just had to fill in the blanks for yourselves. We all adults here.
Right.
And this is something that I've been avoiding saying for the longest time, but just because we're here, it's Festivus.
It's Festivus for the rest of us.
because we're here, I want to clarify. My name is SPJ.
SPJ.
That is Tombstone the Dead Man. Our other partner that is on the show is Adequate. That is for any of the comments that I've seen while doing these lives. That guy, this guy, oh, I don't know who that guy is. We say each other's names often throughout the episodes.
Right.
Pay attention if you care to pay attention. It's slightly disrespectful. Like, get it together. Secondly, I know everybody doesn't have the greatest eyesight because I don't. Tim has glasses right now. Adequate wears glasses, right? And I know that the script is a little tiny, but the vast majority of you that are listening live have the ability to look at the screen. If you look at the screen, on the bottom left and the bottom right, you will see the words multi-world entertainment. Also,
it's right there.
Every time we end the show, Tim specifically mentions multi-world entertainment. This is a multi-world entertainment production. This is not a GU production.
No.
It is not.
No.
There are GU members involved with multi-world.
Yes.
Absolutely. That is not what this is.
No. As a matter of fact, just to add even further to what you said right there, multi-world started because you had 4 different content creators with 4 different brands who had a similar vision, got to know each other, and said, you know what? I'm going to add what I do to what you do, SPJ.
Right.
And Adequate said, I'm going to add what I do to what you two do. And then Keith said, well, I'm going to add what I do to what you three do. And we started Multi-World Entertainment. It is not a subsidiary of any other group, organization, nothing. This is a brain baby here. Why? Because I get it. I get why people would think that. But
absolutely,
you didn't even know what a GU was before you. Keith didn't know what a GU was before us. Christian didn't know what a GU was before she met
She still might not.
She still might not know what it is. She still might not know what it is. Still might not know.
What else? What's next?
Oh,
so let me read.
Hold that foot. The purpose that multi-world stands for is not the same purpose for what GU has stood for over the years. It is not the same mission statement. It does not have the same goals.
Right. So let me see. Big comment. Main reason I fight against religion as it teaches us to not ask questions and accept abuse. That is true of specific sets of specific religions. That is not a necessary tenet of religion. So when you attack certain things, I'd like it because we're supposed to be skeptics. If we're supposed to be skeptics, we're supposed to also be very detail-oriented, logic-oriented, reason-oriented. So when I see people, and I'll give y'all this one. This is a very small annoyance. But when I see people that I'm having conversations with on Facebook say something like, I don't consider Christmas a holiday because I'm not Christian. Christmas is not simply a Christian holiday. That is not in this country. That is you live in this country. If you live elsewhere,
that's not even the origin of it. That's not even the origin of it.
Saturnalia was a pagan holiday,
right?
But regardless, forget the origin. It hasn't been that way since I was born. If you're in the Christian religion, then yes, there's a slant towards that. But what do we see on TV? Santa. That don't got nothing to do with Christianity. Right. Rudolph. That don't got nothing to do with Christianity. The Grinch. That don't got nothing to do with Christianity. Christmas is not. Christmas has long not been about a Christian holiday. Like, again, if you happen to be Christian, then you still do that. But like I said, that's a small thing, but it fits into the overall theme of what I'm saying. All right, so moving on. Dave Chappelle. Absolutely, Biddy, that is true. Dave Chappelle. Another reason that I hate all of you.
Tell him why you mad, son.
Is because y'all do this, and it's been done before, but it just came to my mind when this shit happened. Mm-hmm. I'll read the post. I'll read the post because I don't want to misquote myself. Because come on, it's me. Come on. Some of you are so stupid that you attract other stupid people when more informed people try to address you, and it bothers me.
It's a black hole. Stupidity is a black hole.
Bruh,
right? The gravity just...
the fact that you can't understand simple concepts makes me have to look like I'm defending some shit that I don't agree with. So now somebody's going to hear that, and because they don't understand what the fuck is going on, they're going to assume that I'm with this other bullshit.
Right.
Like, come on. What are we doing? Please stop this. So,
but you know what? That's also part of the political gangbanging shit. That
absolutely.
That's part of that too.
That is why I made that comment 1 or 2 weeks ago about I don't do gang mentality except for Emmy. Emmy is the only thing that I had that with. With everything else, with everything else, I am about the specific situation. Right. What's going on right here, right now.
Right.
Then I make my mind up about it. Not, I'm a Christian, so I have to know.
Right.
Not I'm liberal, so I have to know.
Right.
That's not how that works. And too many of y'all do that. Yeah. Moving on. John Gruden. For those who don't know, basically John Gruden is an NFL coach. He was a coach for a long time. I think he played too. He was a commentator for a long time in the middle of his coaching tenure. So he coached, stopped, went to commentary, did that for a while, came back to coaching. And the Redskins, Washington football team, their case thing that the NFL was looking into, they found messages from John Gruden to who was the vice president of operations for the then Redskins team. In those emails, there were a bunch of shit that should not have been said. The first one that came to light was him saying something about a black man that was the head of the NFL Players Association named DeMaurice Smith. He called him Dumb Morris Smith and said that he had lips the size of the Michelin Man. Now, here's the thing about that. Technically, and I hate that I'm doing this because I just spoke about it. It is plausible, as his response was, of course, I don't have a racist bone in my, I don't have a blade of racist. Listen, technically it is plausible because there's a saying about loose lips and people who you can't trust, and there's a saying about rubber lips and people who lie. The fact that he used Michelin tire rubber is plausible. That ain't even what I'm mad at. Then the following week, it came out that in those emails, he also said some shit that was misogynistic. He also said some more shit that was racist. He also said some shit that was anti-LGBTQ. He also said he said a bunch of shit. So now when all this other shit comes out, now he ended up resigning. He was going to get fired anyway. He ended up resigning. That's a save face type thing.
Yeah.
And now you have these idiots from the Chappelle thing saying, see, when he was racist, he got to keep his job. But now that he's talking about the LGBTQ people, he gets fired. No, you know what that's called? That's called strike one.
Strike two.
Strike 75. Because all the other shit came out at once.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. Let me be clear. Is it possible that was the issue? Absolutely, it is possible. But it's just as possible that, no, we gave you an opportunity. That didn't work. All right, no, more shit? Come on, you out of here.
Yeah.
That's just as possible.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. William Shatner. I've seen so many people complaining about him and being happy, celebrating. I've seen both sides. I get both sides. But it's interesting how even the cynics among us, the skeptics among us, they still employ that bias when it's something they deeply believe in.
Yeah. So I expect that of cynics. I don't expect that of skeptics.
Right. When it's something that you deeply believe in on any other topic, no, eat the rich. No, why are we wasting money on this? On this topic, because it's something you have interest in, it's, oh, why can't we do both? Really?
Now, I've seen that too. And I'm going to say this to you. For the record, we're not talking about what NASA does.
No.
Because the portion of the national budget that NASA gets is minuscule.
Right.
And they managed to do all that. We talking about these private companies spending this amount of, yeah.
There is virtually, unless I misunderstood, and that's possible, because I didn't really look into it heavily. There's virtually nothing that we actually gained from sending William Shatner to space.
Yeah, listen, and don't hear what he's not saying.
Right.
He's not saying we gained nothing from going to space. That's clearly demonstrable with all the tech bumps in technology and all this other shit. but sending William Shatner
specifically this 90-year-old actor, 90-year-old actor.
Yeah.
No, we gain nothing from sending him specifically to space. No.
Except for the dopamine rush.
Right.
Fans of Star Trek get
exactly.
with the idea that Kirk was in actual space.
Right. So now it's okay that we're not spending money on bettering humanity because you get that dopamine rush. All right, moving on. Kyrie Irving.
Oh shit.
He is one of the most anti-science public figures that exists. But because y'all are scared or whatever you want to say about the vaccine, now he's Muhammad Ali.
Yo, I gotta say, bro, when I saw people trying to compare him to Muhammad Ali, I think that was the nail in the coffin for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because as you just eloquently said, he is probably the most anti-science athlete you have that's willing to speak in public life about the shit. Everything from not thinking the world is flat, gravity not existing, all of this shit. And again, like you said, you willing to. So he nailed that, huh?
Right.
He fucked all that other stuff up. He fucked
everything else. Up. But this
he nailed that. Okay.
Moving on to Bart Scott. Now, this if you're not local and into football, you might not know about this. There's a wide receiver for the Baltimore Ravens. That's actually all the parts you need to know for this thing. And then there's a analyst, commentator who used to play middle. Was it middle? He used to play linebacker for the Baltimore Ravens years ago, and he's on TV commentating now. And he said something to the effect of, "This wide receiver would not start on a bunch of other good teams. He's not good enough to start on a bunch of other good teams," which is, if you look at the actual stats of this year, it's demonstrably false, but whatever. His opinion is his opinion, right?
You know, and are you saying that opinions are like assholes? Everyone is one.
It is what it is. Like, if you actually look at the facts of the situation, it's false. The stats indicate that he is playing better than a lot of other, but whatever, not the point. I wasn't mad at that. Like, y'all going back and forth, it looks bad, but whatever. Have at it. So the wide receiver says on his media day, he's like, "Yeah, it's foolishness. I wasn't like, it's crazy for him to say that, blah 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 blah." And then he took a shot at the fact his name is Bart, right?
Right.
But he didn't go into detail. Bart Scott shoots back. "Yeah, my name's Bartholomew. I can go anywhere and get an interview with Bartholomew. Your name's Marquise. Sir, you are black. What do we... Going back and forth is the one thing. But you want to bring that into...
boy.
Jeez. What are we doing? What are we doing? Why didn't nobody... Like...
I can't.
And if anybody doesn't understand that, what I'm not explaining to you, we moving forward. All right, so I'm done with y'all. It was going to be worse, but that's all y'all getting because I got other shit to talk about.
I gotta get out of this place.
Yo, I think it was last week, or it might have been the week before. I talked about me hating people who treat work like home.
Yeah.
The one coworker that was doing it on the a positive side, which, as I pointed out, I still hate. She actually got in trouble for doing that shit.
Oh, so there was actually accountability going on here.
She I think something spilled something on some carpet, and she went and got something and called herself cleaning it up.
And got scolded.
A day later, there was still a spot on the floor. So she got in trouble because, number one, that's not your fucking job.
No.
Number two, now you've done it wrong.
Yeah. So
and that potentially caused another issue.
Yeah.
And three, you're making the people whose job it actually is look bad.
Facts. There's a lot of collateral damage going on over there.
Right. Because if somebody walks by and sees that has some pull, and they know who's supposed to be responsible for that,
yeah,
that could be an issue.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that she got held accountable for that, because that's
so my question to you about that is, do you think that incident, did she learn something from that? Because I
didn't see the aftermath. I haven't seen her since she got reprimanded for it.
Because typically, people don't really learn. Typically, people don't really learn. Like,
this was just an observation. It's something I thought of a while ago, and I don't know if I ever said it on here, but fuck it. If you're black and you don't have any black friends, I question your judgment. If you're black and you don't have any white friends, I question your ability to deal with nuance. I'm just gonna let y'all sit with that. All right, screenshots. I have screenshots.
He has screenshots, ladies and gentlemen.
I got receipts. I don't know if they're relevant, but I put screenshots on here, so I guess I gotta look at the screenshots. It's so weird when people talk about their kid's future being a ladies' man or a heartbreaker because of how they look. Tendencies, people, watch what's normalized. Now, here's the problem. In general, that is a great statement. You get it. It makes sense. Like, stop normalizing that bullshit.
Also, stop sexualizing your children, please.
Absolutely, I'm glad you said that, specifically those words, because this came from the woman that was talking about, why are you talking about what them 60-year-old women doing with R. Kelly? Same person.
Yo, this. I can't.
Same person.
I can't.
No, same person.
Can't.
Same person. Same. Okay. All right. Cool.
But you just said.
Okay. Nope.
All right.
Same person. Same person.
Say less.
Also from the same person. I'm probably gonna end up unfollowing this person. It's 2020. Y'all still consuming copious amounts of dairy. Wondered why you got COVID and wonder why your nose stays stuffed. Let them people smoke their cigarettes in peace, because glass houses people. All right. No. We're not gonna talk about that. Nope. We're not going to talk about that. We don't got time. All right.
I think I already did talk about that earlier.
Yes, you did. You absolutely You absolutely did.
I'm gonna keep holding these ignorant motherfuckers up and making them big. Go ahead.
Listen.
Keep it up.
Keep it up. So the reason why I didn't eviscerate you guys and in the Black Culture Geeks as we know it is because I had a very stupid scenario from 2 years ago haunt me yesterday. So if you've been around for a while, you may have heard the story of the birthday night from hell, where I ended up not talking to a friend of mine for about a year. Well, almost identically the same scenario I was approached with. Almost identically. The same person, the same occasion, her birthday.
Wow.
The same location, the same time. I ended up going.
It's kismet.
Bruh. So my homeboy, the same homeboy that I went with last time, we went. He drove. He drove last time. We're on the way down there. Before the day came, I said to her, yo, are you actually going to show up? Because I'd rather not go through this again. I legitimately, I'd rather not go through this shit again. Like, so are you going to show up? Because I have better things I could be doing.
The problem with you asking her that is that in order for her to do the exact same thing she did last time, she would have to tell you.
What up, cuz?
She would have to tell you that she.
Hey, y'all, it's DJ's birthday tomorrow.
Oh, that's what's up. Yeah. No, but she would have to tell you and reassure you that she would, and then not. So how could you trust what she said right there?
No, it wasn't about that.
Okay.
The reason I asked was that so I could feel 100% sure in what my response would be in the event that it happened again.
Okay.
Because no, you gave me your word.
That was a setup. This was a setup. Yes.
Yeah, you did. Yes, Special Space is one of those Marvel absolute moments in the timeline. Exactly.
Hey, yo, that's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Exactly. So, I said to her verbatim. I didn't say all of it. I said verbatim, not verbatim, but basically I said, "Are you going to show up this time? I'd rather not do that again."
Right.
And she knew exactly what I was talking about. But guess what? She never responded. All right, cool, fine. I ended up talking to her.
She left you on read, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't even know if she looked at it.
I've had
the next day. I ended up talking to her. Well, clearly, I ended up talking to her the next day because she had some shit go down at the house that she needed help with. Mm-hmm. She didn't bring it up the entire time we were on the phone. We were on the phone for about half hour. She never brought it up. So I'm like, fuck it. But I'm like, yo, I'm not going by myself.
Right.
For a couple of reasons. One, because actually they all circle the same reason. I don't necessarily want to go. So in the event that she doesn't show up, I don't want to be there by myself. Yeah. In the event that she does show up and other people from the party show up, I don't know them.
Right.
I don't want to be. I want to be in this scenario with someone that I know that I can still talk to while she's entertaining her other guests.
Right.
That's not an issue with her. That's just that's a me thing. So I needed somebody else to go. I told Feb and I told Marcus, yo, are y'all going? Because if y'all going, I'm going. I'm in. And Feb had work, so he couldn't go. Right. So we went, and on the way there, the time was supposed to be, the time for the event is 7 to 11. I told Marcus, yo, let's leave at 7. All right. So we had to make one stop. We made that stop. That stop took 5 minutes tops. We on our way down there. He says, yo, is she there? I said, bro, you know her. There's no way in the world she's there right now. I wouldn't have told you let's leave at 7 if I thought she was going to be there at that point in time. And he like text her and find something out because I don't want to go down here and she don't show up.
Right.
I said, at first I was hesitant, honestly, because generally what happens when I text her something is that she calls me, and I don't like talking on the fucking phone. Right. And she knows that, and she does it anyway. But anyway, but he made too much of a point for me to not contact her.
Right.
So I texted her like, yo, are you there yet? At about 7:40, she texts, I'm on my way. I said, okay. That was when we just parked. And we were on our way to the venue. So we get to the venue, we get in there, and a lot has changed about that place. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's probably likely because pretty much everything within the last 2 years has been COVID related, and some even indirectly.
Right.
So that probably has something to do with it. But anyway, so we in there, we went to the back to one of the bars, and we get a drink. and we talking, and it's like 8:25 now, and we still haven't heard anything from her. So he's starting to get agitated. I get it. And he like, yo, she's not here by 8:30. No, 8:40. Because he was given, I don't know what time, I can't remember exactly what time she texted me. But he was like, basically, if she's not here by a certain time, we leaving.
Right.
I said, okay, you drove. I mean, all right. So
hey,
she texted me like 2 minutes before that time that he said, I'm here. I said, all right, cool. We are all in the back on the right. Her response was, we're in the front eating. Now, when I relayed that message to him, he damn near should have broke. Now, some people might not understand why, and I get it, but let me explain. Given what happened last time, where you just didn't show up at all,
right?
Knowing that you have an issue of being late to things, and we've expressed our problems with you being late to things.
Yeah.
How is it possible that within the 2 minutes of us texting, within the 2 minutes of you texting me you're here, that you're sitting down eating? Because in order to eat, you have to order food. And then they have to cook it. Yeah. Then they have to cook it and then bring it to you. They didn't do all that fast. So he's pissed. Now, mind you, when he said, if she ain't here by a certain time, blah, blah, we leaving, I tried to convince him otherwise. He wasn't having it. When I relayed the message to him, he said all of what I just said to y'all. I tried to convince him otherwise. He wasn't having it. I said, well, at least, what up, Joe?
What's up, Joe?
I said, at least do me this favor. You have to tell her. I can't be the bad guy again. This is because last time it was you, and I still got in trouble for it.
Right.
Like
he has to tell her.
He was like, "Oh yeah," he's like, "I'll talk to her," and we had a nosy bartender, who was meddling, and she's like, "Fuck that! Don't tell her shit," but because she's listening to the conversation and she's hearing, and she's like, she sounds like a piece of shit. And I'm like, no, she's not that bad.
Ouch.
Yeah, and it's like,
but in the waitress's defense, and in your friend's defense, it ain't all that.
Right. It's
not
but
that bad. You on the outside,
right,
looking in, and you hear that is what comes to mind. Luckily, because I know that people have different layers. You would not be friends with her like that if she was truly a piece of shit.
She's not that guy.
Yeah.
No, she's not. In no way, shape, or form is she. But her talking kind of influenced him because he was already upset.
Oh man,
he was already upset. Like I said, and I told him, I did tell him he's like overreacting. He's not exaggerating.
No one likes to hear that.
I do agree with him. No, nobody likes that.
When they're upset.
Yo, for life, guys, do not tell someone they're overreacting.
Yeah.
It's not helpful.
It's not helpful.
It doesn't always make it worse, but it very rarely makes it better.
Facts.
And I wasn't thinking, it didn't, like I said, it didn't make it worse, but it didn't help. It didn't help. So, like, I'm like, all right. I told him, I'm like, yo, text her. He said, all right, this is what I'm going to do. Because he was originally going to just let her know we were leaving. But the fucking bartender was like, no, y'all just leave. Just tell her, just leave. So he's like, all right. He said, what I'll do is I'll ask her where she is. And I'll tell her where we are. No. He said that.
You think that waitress, she was a waitress, right? Server, right?
Bartender.
You think maybe she could have been related to Adequate?
That's funny.
Got it in there. I told you I was going to get it in there.
I get it. So he's like, what I'm going to do is I'm going to text her where we are. If she responds back with where she is, we're fucking leaving. If she responds back, okay, I'll be there in a second. All right, cool. We'll stay. So I'm like, oh, shit. All right. Because I know what she's gonna respond back with. I already know because I already got that text message from her. Like, so I know that's what she's gonna respond with. So, I'm like, all right, let me go to the bathroom. I'm trying to stall, trying to buy time and everything. I come out the bathroom. Nah, he's still.
Yeah, she
responded where she was, and we're walking out, and he was fucking heated. He admitted on the way back to the car. He admitted that he was being a little bitchy. He's out of his mouth, not me. I ain't said out of his mouth, and then he made a joke about sending her a Cash App request for the amount of the parking. And then we got to the parking garage, and it ended up actually being $26 for that hour that we were there. And he took a picture of the receipt, and he said that he was going to send her a text message. I don't know if that ever happened. So I'm like, fuck. Now here's the thing. She lives around the corner from me. Okay. Technically, she could have brought me home. The reason I didn't stay is because, well, I already expressed some of it. I knew that she wasn't by herself because she said we.
Right.
So I knew she wasn't by herself. So no, I wasn't leaving her by herself. But with her being by herself, that meant that she was likely with people that I don't know. And again, I do not want to be there alone while you are entertaining your guests. Like I don't want to be here in the first place. So that's not helpful for me. And the last reason why I didn't say is, even though he overreacted, Marcus was still right.
Yeah.
I still disagreed with how she handled it. And it would have been hard for me not to bring it up to her in her face. And that wasn't what I was about. So I texted her like, yo, Marcus is upset. I didn't drive. We're leaving. I'll explain everything to you later. Please enjoy your night. Now, she surprised me.
When you said Marcus was upset, there is no way in the world she didn't know why.
Listen, what surprised me was her response was it me?
See.
And that showed
questions.
That's a little. Well, listen. That gives me a little sliver of hope because that is one of the most self-aware things I've ever heard her say.
Yeah. Hope springs.
So, no, I get it. Hope is irrational. All that other stuff, but
hope is all we have. Honestly.
Well, that's facts. That's facts. It wasn't me. I said, kinda. It's a lot. It's a mess. I'll explain it. I'll explain it later.
You do realize leaving it's kind of you, but I'll explain later in her lap is leaving a 50-pound cannonball.
Oh, here's the thing.
Here's
the thing. She ended up calling me back to back at around 12. This was like before 9 when we left. At around 12. Now, I have a couple theories. Either she was feeling nice because of the drinks, and she was in her feelings a little bit, and decided, all right, I'm gonna call him now. Which it's not a huge problem. That's A. B. Marcus finally sent that text message with the receipt picture. I don't know for sure because I was asleep because I had to get up early to go to the fucking NBA. But it was a mess.
It sounds like
don't nobody want to deal with all that. And here's the problem. I hope, and she didn't seem like it, because I texted her again. We texted a little bit this morning. I told her I was gonna call her later to talk. She doesn't seem like she's mad at me this time.
Mm-hmm.
I want to have this conversation when neither of us are mad, because I'm not mad at her. I'm a firm proponent, and I always say to people, when people show you who they are, believe them.
You gotta believe them, man.
Yeah. So I'm not mad at her being as late as she was. It was a little the whole we sitting down eating thing was a little fucked up, but I feel like I just overreacted a little bit. I wouldn't have, like, but I also feel like if this was the first thing, it wouldn't have elicited that reaction from him.
Right.
If there wasn't history of things that you've done, we wouldn't have been leaving.
Right.
So
right.
It's a lot.
There are circumstances that you kind of created,
right,
through your previous actions, and much like any insurance company worth its salt, it's going to look at your previous.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
So there's a long talk that I have to have with her.
A long, uncomfortable talk.
It won't be uncomfortable for me because I'm not mad. And if she's not mad, then it should only be a little uncomfortable to her. Because now I'm not coming from the perspective of you specifically did something to me and I'm mad at you, so let me explain to you why I'm mad. No. Now I'm coming from the aspect of, yo, you got some shit with you and we got to talk about it, because I'm sure you know that other people are noticing now.
Yeah.
It's a different conversation.
Is for that, because
no, my intentions, this is not for her.
Yeah.
If a side effect happens that she gains more social self-awareness or whatever, that's great. That's beautiful. This is not for her. This is for me. This is me getting this off of my chest and explaining to her what the hell has been going on.
Right.
Because I know you sense some of it. There's no way you can't. You're not an idiot. You're not oblivious. There's no way you don't notice some of these things going on.
Right.
And allow me to explain to you why, because apparently you don't get. I came to a conclusion a little while ago. At first, I thought that she was just being a douche. I legitimately believe now, because of other things that have happened since then in the past 2 years, she doesn't realize it. She doesn't understand how fucking inconsiderate she's being. And that's why I'm no longer mad. But
so not to be
it
that
still
guy,
has to be addressed.
But I have to be that guy in this moment.
What?
Not being aware still could make you a douchebag, depending on why you're not aware.
Yes. No. Yes. Absolutely. No. The only thing that my realization changes is that I'm not mad anymore.
Yes.
Everything else is still
what's up, Austin?
Like, what's going on? Everything else is still what it is. Everything else about this is like, yo, you got some shit to get together. It's not a point of saying anybody's perfect. No, nothing like that. But you got some shit to get together.
You don't need to be perfect.
No.
To be more considerate when it comes to time.
That's it.
Like that is actually based around making a conscientious effort.
Here's what I realized yesterday. I'd never considered this before, but I'm walking towards the venue with Marcus, and when I told her, she said she was on her way. He's sitting there complaining about her being late, and I'm like, Marcus, you're one of the people in my life, one of the 3 people in my life that has a habit of being late. And then I realized something. Marcus has an issue with being late. But Marcus isn't just late to social things. Marcus has been late to his job. Marcus has been late to other important things. DJ is the second person in my life that has consistent issues with being late. But DJ is not just late to social things. DJ has been late to his job.
Right.
DJ has been late to other important
Right.
things. I have no evidence, not one story, not one anecdote of this girl being late to work, being late to her side business.
So what
That's
do you think?
A different thing.
What do you think that says?
That to me is a you're self-centered. Yeah. You're extremely self-centered. It's not that you have an issue just with being late. You have an issue caring about other people's time.
And that, I have to say, on the Venn diagram, leads heavy in the douchebag spot.
Right. Absolutely.
In the douchebag spot.
So, like I said, there's a conversation that has to be had. It's likely going to be had today. It may not be completed because not as a defender, just being real, it's hard to just sit there and listen to a bunch of things you did wrong.
Yeah, that's true. And especially, it also depends on how the person's coming at you with it. Because, see, a lot of people will say, well, when somebody's confronting you about things that you did that they take exception with, that it is in poor taste to bring up the things they did. Right. And I say, maybe it depends on what they did. Because if they're doing the exact same thing to you, but then coming at you, giving you grief about the stuff that they're doing, that conversation is going to be a little disjointed, and we're not doing that. We're not doing it because it's exploding in your mind. See, this is the thing people don't realize. When you do that, and you don't have the self-awareness to realize you do the exact same thing to that person. While you're coming to them with that complaint, it's very human. That the things that they know you've done is exploding in their head.
Their blood is boiling.
Like, no, you just did this. So if
literally,
that's the thing people don't really get.
Yeah, so people to take away from this story, this little story of mine,
this tale of woe.
Yeah, I mean, please understand. I don't think with at least the people that engage with us, I don't think this is going to be a big issue. But still, I want to reinforce it. Offense is in the eye of the offended, not the offender.
Right.
So I say that because there are potentially things that are on this list of things that she's done that are inconsiderate that she may not consider inconsiderate.
Right.
And she's absolutely valid to have those feelings. However, you're not who was wronged.
Yeah, and the impasse about that is what causes a lot of the conflict, especially now, because nowadays there's this narrative that if the person feels way, especially somebody, this y'all friends, this is not some random, if the person feels a way about it, that's their problem. And what I will say to people that think that way, you are overcorrecting.
Yeah.
And I don't believe that that's what's best for human interactions.
Right.
Particularly in the space where people are friends. You're overcorrecting with that very harsh, fuck what they think. Fuck how they feel, because I ain't mean do it, so fuck them.
Yeah.
You're overcorrecting when what you could do is just simply have a conversation. A lot of times people just want to be heard. They want their objection heard and not completely dismissed out of hand as if they're the one that's crazy, because part of that is gaslighting. Especially if it's demonstrable that the event took place. Right. So it's not like the event didn't, like, yo, you stole my shoes the other day and I don't like it. I didn't steal your shoes. You're wearing the shoes right there.
Right.
That's not, I'm talking about some stuff where this event actually took place, regardless of what your intentions were. This event took place and the other person took exception to that event.
Yeah.
You're overcorrecting with the whole, it's this thing of, I don't know, it's the thing about society. I feel like society is turning towards being less empathetic to other people's points of view and experience and perspective, that can't end well.
Nah, B.
And I'm saying this now. I know it will be ignored. I know people will be in their own heads with whatever conversation that they wanted to have that's not about what I'm saying right now. But what I would implore, just think about it. Hold that thought somewhere in the recesses of your mind. So when the day comes, when that teachable moment show, because I've seen it happen too many times, where I will say certain things like, yo, that's not going to end well.
Right.
And people are so caught up in there because their point of view becomes their identity.
Yep.
Right? They're so caught up in their point of view.
Dangerous.
It's dangerous. That's not going to end well.
No.
The idea that you can't at least sit down and go, let me hear what this.
Right.
If you can't do that, if you find that offends your sensibilities way too much to do, I'm just going to say that's not, if that becomes a prevailing way of the way we handle things in society, that's not going to end well. Because I'm fairly certain we can find examples in history in other countries where that the ability to have those conversations, right, eroded. And that's what led to the eventual explosion in the other direction. So I'll keep that up if you want, not being empathetic to that point. I'm just saying, if you all want to live together, see, it's different with me. I don't want to live with y'all. If you all want to live together, you all want to live together, that's not a good way to. No.
But to back your point that you said a couple seconds ago, and then moving forward, the thing about no, this is the thing that demonstrably happened. She still to this day has not actually acknowledged that her behavior 2 years ago, right? She still has not, like, when she apologized for the purpose of us to start talking again.
So she didn't.
You didn't apologize because you realized what happened was wrong. But I was just like, fuck it, because this is just gonna go on forever.
Now, had you said that back then, and there had been people standing around, there would have been a segment of the people standing around going, "You're over exaggerating. This is not a problem."
Yo,
and then 2 years later, we're here.
Here's the thing:
people just
if I hinted to this when we got back from Myrtle Beach, all of the people involved with Myrtle Beach were privy to what happened 2 years ago. And all of the people involved, are you sure you're not over-exaggerating? Are you sure you're not overreacting? Are you sure? After Myrtle Beach? Oh, yeah, we see exactly what you're talking about.
I got to say, most people know me to be a pretty even-tempered fellow. Shut up. Shut up.
Can we just not?
Like,
we're sitting here. We have been bearing our souls for the past 2 hours, being open and honest. You would have come here with this bullshit.
Listen, I would literally.
What up, Palm?
What's up, Palm? That is one of many pet peeves of mine. When I told you this.
No, not I told you so. Not I told you so. I informed you thusly.
Okay. If that helps the medicine go down, but I clearly made the statement and the observation, and for them to come, I typically I flip when that shit happens. I do. I ain't gonna hold you.
I did it because I felt a weird sense of calm rush over me when they came to the realization, because I said to them in that moment, now y'all see, notice, and I told all of them, I said, notice, I haven't said a bad word about this girl this entire trip. Not to none of y'all, not to one of you. And all of you at the end of this trip are fed up with her. Now you understand what I was talking about all that time ago. Now you understand that I don't be exaggerating. And here was the response. Well, yeah, you don't exaggerate like that. I know.
No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that because 2 years ago, I was questioned as to whether I was exaggerating. And now 2 years later, you're saying, well, you don't be exaggerating. Where was that? You know me longer than 2 years ago. Where was that? See, this is the part.
These are people that have known me. All of these people, except for the one person that she actually brought into the group, have known me since I was at least as young as 16.
Bro, that's the thing. If you want to see the dead man explode, that's it.
I told you the reason I didn't is because this really weird sense of calm rushed over my entire body, because it was like Star-Lord, like, finally.
You know, it would have been so funny for you if you had said, when the student is ready, the master will appear. I tried to tell you guys 2 years ago, you wasn't ready. You wasn't prepared.
You weren't ready. But now
we're here.
I think you might have a chance.
And what I want you to do, now that we're here, is snatch the pebble from my hand. If you can get this pebble, I'd have had him wax on and wax off, and I'd have been, listen.
Mind you, last night, I did no complaining about her.
Right.
Marcus was doing all the complaining. And I said to him a little while into the complaining, I gave you an option. I didn't say to you, yo, come to this thing so I don't got to be alone. I said to you, are you going?
Right.
If you're not going, we don't have to go. But are you going? He's like, yeah, I was trying to give it a benefit of the doubt. Why? You're not new.
Are you though?
You're not new.
Because
you've been around. You've seen what's been going on. You've commented on what's been going on.
Yo,
you were there that fateful night.
There. You was. Yo, it remind me of what my grandfather, rest in peace, William Randolph Cooper, said to my brother, rest in peace, Lance Taylor Sr. He's about him. He said, with you, it's like when you go to sleep at night, you die the death of 1,000 deaths. And when you wake up in the morning, none of that stuff that happened before you have no. Yo, I know people like that, yo. I do. And my brother was definitely that type, especially back then. Yeah. He's definitely that type. I remember my grandfather said, I was like, these are just the facts.
Right.
These are just the facts. Like I said, you want a surefire way to get me to explode is after I was debased, after I was besmirched for an observation and a prediction based on that observation. And I was told that's not a big deal. Why do you guys think I'm so angry now? Because 10 years ago I was saying stuff and I see the shit happening now, and for motherfuckers to act like now, like well, we had no way of knowing. How did my dumb ass know? This is me. Because I'm watching reactions, human behavior, and trends.
Yes, yo, hold on, stop. I'll be late, huh? You be late, nigga. Yo, hold time. Yo, this nigga was supposed to take me when I was getting my license for the first time. Right. This nigga was supposed to take me to the test. That's not. Notice I said supposed to.
Instead, he took you through another test. Right. He tested your patience.
Yo, I had to call my other cousin, like, yo, what you doing? It was early as hell in the morning.
Let me
calling her. Had to call her cold.
Right. Let me inconvenience you because DJ inconvenienced me.
I'm like, yo, what you doing? Can you come to this NBA with me so I can take my trial this
Oh man, that's hilarious.
That's the thing. Like with Marcus, with DJ, when they realize they're late, They comment on it when they realize
acknowledge it. Yeah, they acknowledge
it,
Yeah,
and afterwards they show contrition.
Right.
Not with her.
And what are you talking about? What are you going on about?
No, I'll never forget this one time we was at Marcus' house, and we like, where you at? She like, I'm like 30 seconds away. 10 minutes later. And I'm like, yo, this is such a silly fucking thing to lie about. Like, it wasn't even anything important.
It might be silly, but it's actually very common.
Yes, it is extremely common. Yes. Yeah. It's like, yo, we don't have no major plans. We're literally just chilling. What is the point of lying?
Yeah.
Like, there's no way. All right, put it like this. We are so close such that anything that could legitimately happen to change your trajectory from 30 seconds away to 10 minutes away, legitimately, you would have told us about.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Because it's my tire busted, or I got into an accident, or there was an accident, traffic got stopped, it's one of those types of things.
Yeah, facts. All facts.
You would have told us about it.
It's a fact.
But you didn't. Why? Because you were fucking lying.
Sometimes
like you understand people have problems with your lateness.
Yeah, sometimes that's manipulation. That form of line is because basically not giving you all the information to attempt to control your choices.
Absolutely.
And hopefully put them into your favor. Like there is ways to spin all of this that wouldn't really be spin. It just would be the perspective, of what's happening in front. But
there's a difference between just not really having a good concept of time. There are absolutely times where I'll tell somebody 20 minutes, and it'll end up being 18 or 22 or some shit like that. That's normal.
Right.
She said 30 fucking seconds or 45 seconds. I can't remember. It was in the seconds though. And 10 minutes later, she still wasn't in.
You have to allow for human error when it would go those extra minutes and seconds. So basically, it's like, yes, but for not this light being a little longer than I thought it was going to be, some shit. Right. Yeah, I would have been here then. But even with that, the idea that you're Chronos, the master of time, and you can pinpoint the exact time. No. You are not Amadeus Child with the calculations, B. That's not what you are.
And it's like, come on. But anyway, so ladies and gentlemen, we aren't doing topics. Shut up. We aren't doing topics today because we've already done all the fussing.
Yeah.
So
a lot of that was in the fussing. A lot of the topics.
It would have, those would have been topics.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel like sitting here reading articles about any of this bullshit. I didn't feel like dealing with any of this bullshit longer than we had to.
Give you some shorthand,
right? And
then go into what we felt about.
Yeah. So I put together.
Before you go into that game situation, I'm doing what Special Space referred to as in Marvel an absolute moment in time. Everything that I started to show off talking about is going to be a problem later.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, no, without question. Yeah.
Whether you see it now or not.
Because there's nothing curving it.
It's going to be a problem later. This is an absolute moment in time. And I'm pointing out. I'm pointing this out right now. I'm carving the space out now that hopefully it stays in your mind so that if you don't see it now, when it happens later and you do eventually see it, you go, that goddamn dead man.
Yo, and the issue that I have with that is people will be like, you're being negative. No, I'm telling you what, I don't want this shit to happen. I'm telling you what I see.
I'm telling you the trend and where it's going to, and it's not being.
I've noticed a pattern. This is the pattern that I've noticed. If you don't get it, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. I hope that I'm wrong. Yeah. But I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
And it looked like 1 + 1.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing about it. I think that they say repetition is the best way people learn. I also think another great way to learn is when people have that aha moment that teachable moment where, damn it, like I because I've had this with my grandfather. Things that my grandfather told me as a child that I thought went in one ear and out the other actually didn't, because when I got to be an adult and the exact same thing took place that he said was going to take place in the way he said it was going to take place, I had that aha moment. And from that, I learned. So I'm just putting it out there. That's going to be a problem. Everything I talked about, it's going to be a problem. And I'm saying that, like I said, in this absolute space and time, this point, this moment, because 10 or 11 years ago when I was saying it and the people that was following me at that time, y'all didn't carve that out as an absolute moment of time. And now now look where we at now. Right?
You could not deal with your failure.
You could not do it. So
where'd that bring you? Back to me.
Back to me. Like, okay.
All right. So I hate adequate because this would be a little bit better with 3 people. I tried to get a replacement. It was really last moment. It didn't work.
Man,
so it is what
we should have got napalm ass up in here.
Yo, listen. Can you hop on? I mean, like, because
if I send you the link, can you? Matter of fact, I'm sending you the link to your Facebook. You got right on your phone.
Facts. All right. So first, I wrote a statement. I need to apologize to all diehard, long-time ride or die listeners. If I'm going to get up here on the show every week and hold other people,
we could have gotten Joe
listeners. That's a fact. Joe,
are you available?
Are you available?
Available?
Fuck you mean could have gotten? Right. The show's still going.
No way, we still can get you now. Like, are you available? Because I'm about to send you the link right now.
Right. All right. So let me read my statement. I need to apologize to all the long-term, die-hard, ride or die listeners. If I'm going to get up here on the show every week and hold other people accountable, including the listeners and co-hosts, I need to hold myself accountable as well. Sure, we all make mistakes, but you deserve better, and I will do better. 2 weeks ago, we played a game, and it was the wrong game. We played... Yeah, it was the wrong game. It was the wrong game. So
Joe, Marco.
What up, Joe?
Hey guys.
Yeah, so we ended up playing the right game, but I said the wrong thing.
Okay.
Our game that we play is not one gotta go. Our game is called Who Will Survive.
Okay, yeah, I do recall that.
It had been a while since we played it, so it slipped my mind. But yeah, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6 categories today.
Okay,
that we're gonna do. All right. So should I start off with the one that's gonna anger you first?
See, that's the thing I be trying to figure out, right, Joe?
Mm-hmm.
Joe, I be trying to figure out why people want to anger me. Like that, like. Ordinarily, when you see me, I'm the way I present to social media.
Okay, fine. Okay, all right, cool. Go. Okay.
Why?
Because I'm about to say, nigga, I know you in real life.
I'm just saying,
in real life.
I present.
I'm saying nothing.
I present Joe to my jovial,
absolutely,
less grumpy, right?
Less, yes,
less grumpy.
That's a good word.
Why they want me to be mad? Why?
It's all in good fun. Okay, it's a part of it. So we doing that first?
This is an absolute moment in time. Yes.
Well, I'm gonna speculate because I know there are people who like my rants when I go off on stuff, and they want to set me up. They set that up because they know that's gonna come.
That's funny.
Okay.
Actors.
It's gonna be some bull.
Remember last time? And I told you I was gonna get you.
This is some bullshit. This is bullshit.
Who will survive? Oh, for anybody new. So the rules are there are 4. Usually 4. Sometimes it's less than 4 items in each category. we have to take turns eliminating all of the items until we get to the one that will survive. Now, for each category, for certain categories, there are other stakes, and when we're in that category, I'll explain the stake.
Mhm.
So, actors,
I could
stakes
use some
are.
steak right now.
I mean, who couldn't? I mean, I'm not a big fan, but it is what it is. According to Kyrie Irving, ain't nothing natural about. Anyway, actors, and the stakes are that if you get rid of an actor, you get rid of every single movie that they've acted in.
Ooh.
Tune.
This is ass.
The actors are Zoe Saldana, Jeff Goldblum,
This guy is the
Idris Elba,
It's the worst.
and Brie Larson.
He is the absolute worst. He is the. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what I be talking about, right? This is what I be talking about right here. Right?
What do you be talking about?
People routinely want to do a couple of things.
Mhm.
They want to either spit in the wind
Mhm.
or pull on Superman's cape. It's not going to turn out well, but for some reason they keep doing it. This is what the equivalent of what SPJ just did with this list right here.
It's tough, but for me it's not that hard.
Well, there's a very specific reason why it's hard for Toon. But Toon, who are you getting rid of first, sir?
This is some bullshit.
And why?
I'm getting rid of Tyrese because I feel like
That's not an option. It's
What?
not an option. Nope, not an option.
damn it,
He was not. He did not make this list
damn
for
it.
a very specific reason, and you know why.
I'm going with Bree first. I haven't
I'm
known her as
overcorrecting.
long. I know you are,
Okay.
and you're a bastard. and you're a bastard. I'm
Yeah.
going with Brie Larson because I've known her the least
Really?
amount of time.
You're getting rid of Endgame first.
And
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
and Infinity War.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't go there. I'm not going there. So I'm not going. See, for me, it's Jeff Goldblum, which gets rid of Thor 3, but it also gets rid of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 because he's in the closing
Yeah,
credits.
He's in the
And
closing
it gets
credits.
rid of
so-
Jurassic Park.
I'm not that big a fan.
Me
of
either.
Jurassic Park
I'm not
films.
all that big of a fan of that, so that could go.
Okay.
If he wasn't in Marvel, he could have went.
Do you have any idea how hard it was to compile this list?
No, I don't think it was hard for you at all because you
No, it was
suck.
really no. It was no. Because here's what I had to do. All right, so open up the door for all people. We don't do that as often as we used to. But for full disclosure, last time we did this, I did actors, and I did not think about it beforehand, and I put Robert Downey Jr. on there. And if you've been around at all, you know that one of our favorite things in the world is the MCU.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, given that I put 3 other actors that have nothing to do with the MCU,
Yeah.
it was too easy for me. So, what I did this time was I made sure all of the actors were in the MCU. But the reason it was hard is because I wanted to find people that were also attached to another big franchise, number one, and I wanted to find people that were sprinkled throughout the MCU and not just clustered into.
Specific movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a little hard putting this together. It was a little
No, it wouldn't have been as hard if not for Endgame and Infinity. Well,
right.
Endgame.
That's the because Bree kind of slipped in there under the, but that's
Yeah.
the penultimate. So yeah. But anyway, all right. So you went Bree first, Joe. Who are you getting rid of first?
Yeah, I'm getting rid of Jeff Goldblum.
Okay. My first. Fuck.
Not easy.
No, it's not.
This is my only consolation.
Yeah, because it's hard for me too. If I had to say, I had to pick one. gotta go with Idris first. I gotta go with Idris first.
So
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry. Joe, why?
Oh, why? Because with Goldblum, I get rid of the least. As far because I don't care about his other films. So I mean, so I lose Thor 3, which is a shame because that's the best of the Thor
And
films.
Guardians 2.
And I lose Guardians 2, even though he's only in the end credits, but he is there.
He's in there, right.
But yeah, I could deal with that's I lose the least out of that.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, just as an addendum to what I was saying about, I know him breathe the least amount of time. Getting rid, I don't care. I didn't really care about the Captain Marvel movie as much. And as far as Endgame and Infinity, as much as I love those movies, I kind of think Kevin Feige would have found us a suitable replacement for that. We could have.
Well, no. The movie doesn't exist in the way that it exists.
Oh,
so
okay. Gotcha.
It would have been a completely different movie, not just her part being replaced.
Right.
It would have been a completely different movie.
It might not even been the movie. Like he might have went with Galactus. It's a lot of different things they.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So
that's fair. I'm going Idris.
Yo, Special Space. I'm on that time. Right. Hold up. I'm on this time right now. Right now. Since he chose to hit me right in that tender spot, I'm wiping them off. I'm on my Lord Entropy shit. I'm wiping the board. I'm wiping the board.
You're like Thanos with only twice as bad.
Right. Yeah, fuck it. All of them. All right. I'm getting rid of Idris because of Thor 1 and 2.
Yeah, but you also you lose.
No, I know.
You lose. You lose
there's
Thor
no
3.
way in the world.
You lose Thor 3. You lose Age of Ultron, and you lose Infinity War.
Oh, I don't care about losing Age of Ultron. But
fair point.
But there's great loss with any of these choices. But one that pushes Idris to the front for me is Thor 1 and 2.
Okay, all right. Bet.
Particularly Thor 2. Because
what was the list again? Where we at?
You have Jeff, Idris, and Zoe.
Right. All right.
And here's the thing. Here's the other reason why this is ass of me. Tim's favorite character, Thor. Yeah. Among Tim's favorite movies, Guardians.
Yeah, like I said, this is some bull. So again, the only good thing about getting rid of the Thor thing is that those first two movies were absolute trash. They were trash. So I'm going with God damn you. I'm going with Jeff.
Now, if this makes this better for you, in your world, Endgame and Infinity War are gone already.
Yeah, I know. They're already gone.
So you don't have to worry about getting rid of them at this point.
Yeah. But I think now it's about what I like better. Right. So I'm thinking I loved Thor Ragnarok, but I only got one movie that was any good out of the 3 of the Thor movies. I got 2 good Guardians. Okay. So Jeff got to get the fuck up out of here.
Okay, that leaves you Guardians 1.
That's all right. I look.
I know. All right, Joe.
Back, Biddy.
Who's next for you, Joe? And why?
That's gonna be a tough one. I'm gonna have to say Idris though, because I lose Infinity War, but I could deal with like Toom said, I could live without Thor 1 and 2, and I can live without Age of Ultron. But see, the problem is I'm still gonna be screwed though, because the next 2, one of them is gonna eliminate Endgame, and that's gonna make me cry.
So next.
What's your next one?
I have to. Life finds a way. I'm sorry, Jeff. As much joy as Jurassic Park brought me as a young child, and as much as I love Ragnarok, but it doesn't matter because that's gone. Jeff, you gotta go because, well, I can't give the other reason because it's a part of my next pick.
Okay. All right. Well, but I have Idris left and Zoe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Damn you. Idris, you might as well get him the fuck up out of here. You might as well get him the fuck up out of here.
Mm-hmm. I get it.
He gotta go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely, because at least he's not in none of the Guardians, right? So
Sure.
I still have Zoe right there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So so Zoe survives for you.
Yeah.
Okay, Joe.
I'm gonna kind of end up the same spot, even though we took a different path. We're gonna end up the same place.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, getting rid of Brie Larson because that does the least amount of damage. I've already lost Infinity War, and I have to lose an Endgame regardless. So I could live without Captain Marvel. So Zoe's the only one left. So it's just like Tomb.
Okay. So I'm down to Zoe and Brie, and here's the other reason. Like I said, one of the reasons I use these four people is because they have other franchises. There was no way that the MCU would last. It is inevitable that the MCU is over by eliminating three of these people. So I looked at other franchises. Zoe Saldana was in Death at a Funeral. I absolutely love that movie. Hilarious movie. She was in the Avatar joint. I'm not that big a fan of that.
No story there.
Yeah.
There's no story.
She was in Colombiana, which was a cool little action movie. But Brie Larson was in Scott Pilgrim versus
this motherfucker.
And I am not living in the world where that movie does not exist, especially if I have to get rid of the MCU. So Zoe, you gotta get up out of here. Brie Larson is the one who survives for me.
I didn't see that movie you're talking about.
Oh no! You need to correct this egregious mistake.
See, actually, it's funny. If Brie Larson was in anything that I actually liked, I would have kept her, mostly because Zoe was also in the Star Trek reboot movies, which I despise. I despise those movies with a passion.
But it's funny, Joe, because we used to do a segment appreciation, and one of the things we did. I mean, she's had a couple controversial things with her career, but one of the things we did, that Nina Simone was the main thing. But one of the things we did was put some respect on this woman's name because she's attached to some of the highest grossing franchises ever.
Absolutely, we did the whole MCU, thing,
Avatar, Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's
been involved with some huge box office movies.
Yeah.
See, the funny thing with her is that even though I didn't like those Star Trek movies, I like the fact that she made more out of the Uhura character than Nichelle Nichols ever had the chance to.
Yeah, they never really gave Nichelle the opportunity to expand on that character. As much as they could have.
Yeah. The closest was when in Star Trek 3 when they steal, she helps them steal the Enterprise.
Yeah,
and that's the biggest thing she gets in any of the thing. That and in
the first interracial kiss on television.
Right.
And as far as the movie, and also Star Trek 6. It's her idea to use the gaseous anomaly detecting equipment to put onto the torpedo to take out Chang.
Those are her biggest feats in Star Trek. Yeah.
I mean, there's one episode in the original series where her mind gets wiped, and they have to reteach her, and so she's like speaking Swahili originally.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that. Okay.
And there's another episode. Well, I guess the episode where they go mirror mirror, where she tries to seduce like the evil
in the mirror
Sulu.
universe when it was
Yeah.
Right.
But she never really got that much. At least with Zoe Saldana, she actually had something to work with.
Yeah, because
different time.
The public eye had shifted a little bit by the time she got her chance to do it. All right, so next category. Thanksgiving sides. So there are no extra steaks with this one. I mean, unless you like steak at Thanksgiving.
I love steak. Listen,
Having steak tonight.
See. So Thanksgiving sides.
Hey, if you guys ever make it up here, you're getting some Wagyu steaks.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving sides. Again, you have to eliminate one by one until you are left with one. Macaroni and cheese, mashed potatoes, stuffing, candy yams.
All right, we there. Can I go first?
Yeah.
Get them candy yams the fuck out of here. I don't want that shit. Like as is, I only tolerate them. I've only tolerated them over the years. It's not like, boy, sure can't wait for Thanksgiving so I can get them candy. Never been said by me. Get them out of here.
Okay.
Get them out of here.
All right, Joe.
I'm the same, and I'm gonna say the only proper use of Bruce's yams is to make sweet potato pie.
That's
if you're
it.
If you're gonna make a sweet potato pie, get that shit away from me.
Yeah, I'm not eating that shit.
All right.
Oh, and I make a great sweet potato pie, by the way.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Both of you are out of your fucking minds. I'm going mashed potatoes first, and here's why. There are so many other things. Like, there's so many things that you can do with a potato.
You got two
We
potatoes
had this conversation.
in this shit.
No, listen. No. You don't tend to do the same things with sweet potatoes that you do with other types of potatoes. You don't
make potato pie. Yeah, I get you. But
no, hold up. Some people do make a white potato pie. And I've never had it, but
are those the people that put raisins in the potato salad?
I don't know.
I don't know how to figure it out.
I don't know.
And no paprika.
So
just saying,
there are so many other things that you can do with them. I'm nitpicking here because I love all of them. There's so many other things that you can do with a russet potato.
You can make russet potatoes.
There's so many other things you can do with a Yukon Gold potato. There's so many other things you can do. So if I never get that particular variant of potato, I'm fine. I can deal with that.
You say candy yams, so
I love candy yams. Anyway, all right. So Tim, what's next?
All right. So next. See, we got left with stuffing, macaroni and cheese, and mashed potatoes, right?
Yeah.
All right. You can get stuffing up out of here. Don't get me wrong, I like stuffing a lot. However, once again, that is not one of the foods around Thanksgiving that I sure can't wait to get some stuffing. No, it's cool, but it can go.
Okay. Joe?
All right. This is kind of tough. Because you make a good point about mashed potatoes. It can be a little boring, a little bland. Although my wife makes good potato cakes out of leftover mashed potatoes. So I kind of the other problem too with macaroni and cheese is depends on who's making them because.
Wait, stop. No. You shut your goddamn mouth. Listen. So for these foods, we're talking the best version you've ever had.
Best version, okay.
Yes.
You slid that in a little late.
Okay.
Yeah, we're avoiding the whole thing about this person don't know how to make. Yeah, we're avoiding that. Yeah, we're avoiding.
All right. If I'm going with the best possible version of each one,
yes.
That's still tough because I love mashed potatoes. I probably would go mac and cheese though because I think the best mac and cheese is probably best in the best mashed potatoes.
So you're getting
Because,
rid of.
but see, the thing is, mashed potatoes. The reason why I ask because mashed potatoes, it's hard to screw those up. It's really easy to screw up macaroni and cheese.
It's so easy.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
easy.
So you're getting rid of.
I'm getting rid of mashed potatoes, grudgingly, but I'm getting rid of them.
Okay, I'm going stuffing. Because Thanksgiving is pretty much the only time I really eat it. Like I love stuffing, but it's really Thanksgiving, Christmas. Like it's really those family holiday things where I actually eat it.
Right.
So keeping that, knowing that I don't eat it that often would just be foolish. So yeah, stuffing's next for me.
All right. For me, it will be mashed potatoes got to go because just like Joe said, the best version of mac and cheese buries any best version of
like, come on.
Nah, it's got
come on.
Gotta go.
Joe?
All right, so now I got stuffing left and I got macaroni and cheese. Mac and cheese has to go because there's nothing that beats. There's nothing that beats. I love stuffing so much. I'll show
Blasphemy!
You
it's you, John.
Show you the depths that I go to get stuffing because I love to deep fry a turkey, but of course if you deep fry you can't do stuffing because it'd be all greasy.
I've had it one time.
It's the best.
Hold up, I'm there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yo, I was over Napalm's house.
Mountains of potatoes.
I was over Napalm's house for Thanksgiving, and they fried it.
It's amazing.
Okay, all right. I was just there again for like.
I mean, there's nothing better. So what I've actually done when we've had guests over, I've actually cooked 2 turkeys just so I can have one with stuffing because I have to make the distinction. If it's
wait, hold up. I was just about to say that. So
if it's in the bird, it's stuffing. If it's in the oven, it's dressing. And that's what it is. Just want to say in full disclosure, fuck dressing. That dry ass shit can go away.
Yeah,
but again, we're talking about best versions. That's just like people talking about chicken breast.
That's just an aside. That's just an aside.
Well, that's the thing. Of the best version is stuffing in the bird, and so I've got so actually my wife she indulges me during the year. A few times a year she'll make chicken. And stuff that, or we'll buy a turkey breast and stuff that.
That's nice.
That's how much I love stuffing.
Word. Okay, yeah. I don't even remember what I got left. Mac and cheese wins because fuck all that. There's just no way. There's no way. There's nothing. Like literally, we were raised to like in my family. As far as me and my house, we will eat the macaroni and cheese. That is just what it is. Like. There's literally nowhere where, like I said, I think I had candy yams. Nah, macaroni and cheese. Legitimately, somebody got kicked out of the family because they fucked with the mac and cheese. Not even a joke. Not somebody that was a blood relative.
That's just
not somebody that was a blood relative. It was somebody that was
so wait a minute, everybody dealing with that? I thought everybody if you fuck up the mac and cheese, you're not allowed.
She legitimately, she was her and my cousin were together. And we matter of fact, she's the reason that we have rules about who brings what to family functions.
I think I remember you told me this too, but I thought that everybody did that. Like if you fuck up
it's unwritten other places. This is written down.
Okay.
No, we got a book.
Y'all got the 10 commandments of that shit. Like
nigga, when this happened, it's like you don't get because of the time, the care. And the expense that goes into a good macaroni and cheese, you don't get that all the time.
Right.
You might not only get it when it's holiday time, but you don't get it all the time.
That's
so particularly when it's holiday time, that mac and cheese better be immaculate. So we get there and it's time to eat. We've been sitting around all day, time to eat, our plates, everything. First thing we go for, mac and cheese out.
So I think I can summarize for SPJ. He's going to say, "Oh hell no, Karen! Keep your bland ass macaroni and cheese to yourself."
Here's the thing. We had no reason to anticipate that her mac and cheese would be bad. Yeah, we had no reason to anticipate that. But once we tasted it, I'm like, "Yo, who the fuck made this?"
Yeah,
yo,
get put out.
No, who did this?
Yeah, your
This
name
never
gets stricken from the record. Like
it was such and such. She can never cook anything else again. Anything else.
Yeah.
Harsh.
I mean,
fuck that.
The only way to keep macaroni and cheese quality and purity is by having these strict rules that you get put the fuck out. As a matter of fact, she left the dinner and not with a plate. You obviously didn't care.
She could have took that mac and cheese with her.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she take that. You can take that Kraft shit with you. Take that, get that shit out of here.
Hey, actually, wait. When I was a kid, because we're all broke when we're kids, right? So my Aunt Ruth, what she used to do is she would buy the Kraft stuff, but then she would basically and what she would do is she would like make one box but use two packs. So she would take the packets out of two boxes,
make the cheese thick.
Yeah.
Word.
And then use the other macaroni for something else.
Word. Wow. All right. Next category. Steaks are the same. Funny enough, because the category is protein. Ribs.
What?
Ribs, steak, seafood, chicken. So for you to beef ribs, obviously.
Okay.
But yeah, ribs, steak, seafood, chicken.
Oh, you shouldn't beef ribs?
For Tim specifically, because he doesn't eat pork.
Yeah. Okay, so beef ribs got to go. I don't even have them bitches a lot. I like them, but I don't even have them a lot. So they can get the fuck out of here.
Okay. All right.
Joe.
Yeah, to me, yeah, pork. I love pork ribs, but beef.
No, pork ribs for you. Yeah, pork ribs for you because you eat pork.
Yeah, because beef ribs.
I'm not a fan of beef ribs.
As long as we're not counting short rib, but even there, that can go too.
That's it.
Yep.
All right.
That's it.
Okay.
So for me, first out of this list, because I'm not doing beef ribs, I'm doing pork ribs. First out of this list to go is actually steak. I'm not that big a steak fan. Mainly because like there are way too many opinions on how it should be served, and it all confuses me. And like, there are not,
like I said, like
see, that's what I'm saying. It's just too many. No, it's too much. There's so many people.
Depends on the cut of steak.
Yeah, and it depends on the cut of meat.
Yo,
and then it depends on the people. We're glad we can help. I am too. I'm about to order some food actually, but yeah. So it depends on the cut and this, and do you use sauce? Do you not use sauce? And do you this and you eat that, and then the one group of people, if you well done, it's like chewing rubber and blah blah this and blah blah that, and it's like, listen, because y'all argue so much about this shit, it gotta go. It gotta go. Right. It's just too much pressure for me. I don't want much pressure while I'm eating.
Got you. No, I got you.
So
next would probably be steak. Why? As much as I love steak, I don't have it that often. And I definitely don't have it more often than the other two that's left on the list.
Right.
So that would have to go. I'd be mad. I couldn't get my filet mignon the way I want it. I'd be pissed. It hurts, but I don't have it that often anyway. So
okay. Joe.
Chicken. Because you can make chicken a lot of different ways, but at the end of the day, it's still just chicken.
All right. My next one is seafood. Mainly, yep, absolutely. I knew you would have that reaction. My next one is seafood. I've never had lobster. I don't. Mainly because of the fucking opinions about that. That's another highly debated thing. Oh, it don't taste like nothing. Oh, yes, it does. Oh, this. Oh, that. I'm like, all right. Well,
you could always taste it and get your own.
No, I'm good. Right. There's that. I don't eat all these different wild exotic fishes, and yes, I said fishes. Um,
This nigga said fishes.
I'm not that huge a fan of shrimp. I do love crab meat, but I'm not about to sit there and pick crabs.
Oh,
Like
shit, I love
it's
that.
way too much. Nah, it's way too much work for very little reward.
Love
It's
that
not
shit.
worth it. Now, snow crabs is different. I'll tell you, snow crabs fuck up because it's way more reward for the work that you're doing. But yes, I've never really got that attached to the seafood. It's the least that I eat out of what's left. Like clearly, I'm not against. Like I don't have anything against seafood because it would have been the first one to go. But nah, I just don't eat it as nowhere near as much as I eat the other two left.
Right. So I have chicken and seafood left. And this is really not even a contest for me because I love chicken. Chicken is delicious, but it's gotta go. Because I have been on record as saying that if all I had you eat was seafood, I'd be good with that. For the rest of my life, I'd be good for that. So chicken has to go. Them wing boxes, damn.
Them chicken boxes, my guy. You getting rid of chicken boxes, my guy?
Roll farms chicken,
bro. You getting rid of roll farms chicken, bro? Come on, dude.
But yeah, that's got to go because I can eat seafood forever, like the rest of my life, and I eat anything else.
Yeah. Joe.
Yeah, this is a tough one now because I don't like too much like fish. I like crab, shrimp, lobster, crawfish.
Yeah.
But man, I love steak. Ooh, boy, I love steak. Steak. And like I said, after having like Wagyu, like when I had some friends come over a couple months ago, it was the first time we got together in person in like almost 2 years because of COVID. Yeah. And so I splurged and I bought Japanese A5 Wagyu. Spent the pant load. And I'll tell you, man, we brought it downstairs. My wife cooked it. We brought it downstairs, and I'd forgotten to bring the sharp knives. We had plastic. We had plastic, not butter knives, not metal, plastic knives, and the shit cut like butter, even with a plastic knife. It was amazing. That said, just because for the variety, I would have to get rid of steak and keep seafood because I love shrimp. I love crab, lobster, and crawfish, and I could do a lot with that, so it keep it from getting monotonous. Now, although I guess if it was steak, I mean, there are a little different cuts and things you could do, but
sure, but it's not the same.
I'm gonna stick with. I'll have to keep the seafood, and even though I'm not a big, I like catfish and I like other white fish, but I don't really like other fish.
Right. All right. So I'm gonna go back to a round or two before and say, Joe, you are bugging. The reason that I'm keeping what I'm keeping is the exact reason that you gave for why there was a slight hesitation, but you went with it anyway. I'm keeping chicken. There is Parmesan chicken. There are chicken boxes. There is the roll for. When I say chicken boxes, see, if you're not from Baltimore, when I say that phrase, you might not understand.
Right.
When I say chicken boxes, it is chicken wings fried, usually a little hard, little fried hard, with your potato of choice. It's usually either regular French fries or wedges.
Yep.
And you get that salt, pepper, ketchup on it. It's one word, Joe. Salt, pepper, ketchup.
That's right.
Some people add the hot sauce. I'm not really that big a fan of hot sauce, but if that's what you do, that's what you do. More power to you.
And I got introduced to other sauces on there as well.
Mumbo sauce. It is a staple here.
Yeah,
I could not live without that. But then again, you have chicken parmesan. You have
your favorite Dick style
chicken Chesapeake. No, I'm not.
Chicken Vesuvio.
Joe, you have so many different ways to chicken Alfredo. Like I gotta keep the chicken, and just keeping with one of the things that we've been using throughout this particular category. It's what I eat the most.
I see.
It's what I eat the most. So I couldn't just get rid of that. That would change my entire diet. So all right, cool. All right.
And this thing is, I eat chicken more than almost anything else too. But I would prefer to eat seafood more than anything.
No, I get it.
It's expensive.
Hey, Tim, you know Chris Mowdy?
The name sounds familiar.
Yeah, he linked it. That's who called me, and I told him I was in the
Oh,
stream.
nice.
So he said that check it out.
Nice.
All right, so next category.
Oh, actually, since Chris is watching it, because he wanted to tell his family something. They don't believe that gabagool is scapicola. That's the same thing. So I'm gonna say as an authority that yes, in fact, that is gabagool is the bastardized New Jersey Italian American Sicilian American way to say capicola.
Word.
So noted.
Absolutely. All right, so next category is hood classic movies.
Okay.
Hood classic movies. So the items are stakes. There are the only stakes in this one is if there are any sequels or anything, they don't exist. Friday, Baby Boy, Boys in the Hood, Paid in Full.
All right. Can I go first?
Absolutely. We've been going that way. Might as well keep it going. Piff, you getting rid of Piff first? Okay.
Get that up. No. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Ever since I was a younger man, I've been a connoisseur of movies. Not just because they were hood movies, although they did get special consideration.
Sure.
I didn't think Paid in Full was a well-done movie. So
okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
Christopher says that his wife said you don't count because you're from the Jers.
Yeah, but see, I told him to tell her that Italian food is not considered ethnic in New Jersey. It's just
food.
just food.
Like
right.
In Africa, it's not ethnic. It's just
that's right.
That's
right. So basically, if you go to any like American, generic American restaurant in New Jersey, you're going to find on the menu at least a third of it's going to be Italian American.
Right.
That makes sense.
Thanks. So you're getting rid of it simply because you don't think it's a good movie.
I don't
simply because you don't like the way it was put together.
I didn't like the way it was put together. I didn't like. I watched it and was like, meh. I was hoping you put Belly on here so I could have the pleasure of getting that. But go ahead.
All right, go ahead, Joe.
Well, I'm going to be a little embarrassed on this one because Boys in Hood's the only one I've actually seen. So I might get my card pulled now, but.
Okay, all right. So I'll go. I'm sorry. Here's the thing. Toom, I hear your Piff was a bad movie, and I'll raise you. Baby Boy was a terrible movie.
I'm getting there.
So
slow down.
I'm
getting there.
I'm sorry. I cannot let this. So you remember that show that I was doing with Chris? We watched movies over and we rated them and reviewed them and all this other shit.
Right.
The two black movies that are some of the, in my opinion, most embarrassing representations of what black cinema can be. One of them is Love and Basketball, and the other one is Baby Boy. This is terrible movie.
You can find a better example than the Love and Basketball one as far as black movies is concerned.
Well, the reason Love and Basketball, no, listen. The reason that these two are in that is that not only are they bad movies, they glorify this toxic thing, not gang glorification, no, relationship type thing. They glorify that type of shit. And I think that, not to say that the glorification of the gangster does not affect us negatively, but I think that this we get slightly more egregious because we don't look at it as a bad thing.
Also,
we know that there's an issue with being outside, shooting guns, selling drugs. We inherently know that there's an issue.
Also, make the argument that we get the outside shooting guns from the toxic relationship between men and women, creating families,
absolutely,
children in these situations,
absolutely,
family. Yeah, so
that's why it's Baby Boy and Love and Basketball for me, because Baby Boy is the worst movie. out of the two, but Love and Basketball is glorified so much.
Right.
So what? Because I haven't seen it. What is it glorifying that's negative? I'm sure. I believe you.
Let me tell you.
Oh, he has.
I'm gonna read you my notes.
Yeah, he has a list.
Like I said, we were doing a movie review show, and I had to write notes for this shit. So let me see. Love. Okay, hold up. I gotta remember the name of the goddamn show. Movie Metric. Duh. So where we go? Just movies, review notes. I might be in the. I got so many goddamn. What's the names? It's
Google Docs.
All right. Yeah, it's in different. It's in this doc.
Just search.
Let me see.
Yeah, keywords when. Right?
Love and Basketball. All right. So first of all, I'm just gonna go through all the notes. All of them aren't necessarily related to it being toxic, but I'll take any opportunity to slander this movie. First of all, I'm drawing a blank on her name. Sanaa Lathan. Yeah. Sanaa Lathan has a beauty mark on her face. Well, I don't know if it's a beauty mark or it's a scar. I can't remember. But she has a blemish on her face. Sanaa Lathan is a famous actress. Sanaa Lathan has been in movies upon movies upon movies. Mm-hmm. There is a scene written into this movie where when they're kids, Q pushes her down and she scrapes her face. That scene was solely put into the movie
to explain
because she has a scar in real life.
Yeah.
No, we can find a better way to do this. No, we can use makeup. No, we could just ignore it. Like all of the other movies she's been in has done.
Right.
No,
right.
We're putting this scene in here because she has a scar on her face in real life.
Right.
The fuck?
Yeah.
This isn't movie. That's not movie making.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. There was a comment. I didn't write full notes because I just watched the movie at that time. There's something here about turning your knees black. I believe there's a comment in the movie about falling, being responsible for turning your knees black or something like that. I can't remember exactly, so don't hold me to that one.
Right.
There was blah blah blah. The mother, Sanaa Lathan's character, her mother was the worst possible mother. Like the entirety of her time on screen, save for like 2 or 3 minutes, was her chastising Sanaa Lathan's character for not basically being girly enough.
Yeah, that's pretty toxic.
She actually said to her something to the effect of, "You would be pretty if you did something to your head."
What you mean? She might put something in it, right?
Oh, listen. The entire relationship between the main characters is toxic. It starts off with the whole idea of, oh, he's being mean to you or he's hitting you because he likes you.
Yeah, that's that bullshit.
Then it moves on to, oh, he's the player. What up, sis?
Hey, sis.
Then it moves on to the thing where he's the player. He can have all the girls, any girl he wants, and she's the friend that's sitting by seeing this. And somehow she doesn't realize that this is probably a sign that he's not a great person, and she ends up falling in love with him. All right, cool. So they end up together. In a relationship by the time they're in college, and the relationship seems to be going relatively well, and things happen. There are issues with his father. His father was absolutely toxic. Yeah. There's issue with his father that happened. He finds out that his father cheated on his mother or something like that, and then that's a whole issue. And then there was a thing where, again, I might be quoting some of these not completely correctly, but they are the gist. The gist is still there. There was a scene where he found out about the issue with his mother and father or something like that. He wanted to be alone with her.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, come to my dorm. I need you here, blah, 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 blah. She was in a position where she had to go back to her dorm.
Right.
had to go back to her dorm. It wasn't that she couldn't have company. It was just that she had to be in her dorm. But because of that, instead of him being understanding or him just going with her, he got mad at her because she wouldn't come with him. And that was the catalyst for them breaking up.
That's kind of lame.
Then on top of that, he makes it to the league. She makes it overseas because they both were basketball players. She makes it overseas. He has an injury that I believe ends his career. I don't remember if it specifically ends his career, but for all intents and purposes, ends his career on that level at least.
Yeah.
She comes back from overseas to see him. She falls in love again. He's supposed to be getting married. She knocks on his window because they're both home for some reason. She knocks on his window, talk about how much she loved him and this and that and play me for your heart and all this other bullshit.
Yeah, I remember that shit.
And then they played a game of basketball and he lets her win. So you are in this situation where you probably got over all this bullshit that you were into when you were younger, because you know the narrative is that women mature faster than men. So you were feeling yourself and you got a new level of stardom and there was all this other shit. So you were doing things that were not necessarily acceptable, but understandable at least. And you're over that now. You've settled down with this woman. But then this girl comes back. You're literally about to marry this other woman. She comes back talking about, I love you. Play me for your heart. And y'all play the game and then you lose on purpose. It's just so much toxic shit.
Bad thing about that is that trope is very common in movies where either the guy or the girl is about to actually get married to whoever, and then the unrequited comes back and some fugazi shit happens about whatever, and they wind up choosing the person that had been gone that whole time, and they never focus on what that has done to the groom or the bride that's left there. They never focus on, like, yo, this person is shattered, and everybody at the end here watching this movie going, oh, it's so beautiful. Yo, the guy or the girl that stand up there at that altar
got fucked.
What happened? Like,
what
happened? Yeah.
So come on. It's and that's not everything. I just can't remember everything, but it's full of toxic relationships, like familial relationships and romantic. Like it's just chock full of them.
Right.
But yeah, so all that to say, baby boy gotta get the fuck up out of here.
So wait a minute, what did I have left? I
had Baby Boy, Friday, and Boys in the Hood.
Oh yeah, all right, easy. Baby Boy.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here. Like, I watched that shit and I laughed through it. Yeah. And it ain't supposed to be a comedy.
Well, parts of it. Parts of it.
That whole thing was not supposed to be a comedy. Okay. I laughed through the ridiculousness of certain scenes.
Yeah.
I laughed at certain delivery of lines. I was laughing at all the things I shouldn't have been laughing at.
Okay, fair.
You know
but you absolutely still laughed at the funny stuff though. Come on.
Some of it, yeah.
Come on.
Some of it,
like, you walk into your mama's house and it's a nigga there cooking butt ass naked.
No, that shit did not make me laugh.
What? You put yourself too much into that position.
No, exactly. I'm a stepchild. That shit did not.
That's what happened.
Did not make me laugh at all. Like I didn't find that amusing in the least bit.
Yo, that shit is hilarious. The whole. You want some eggs? Yo, come on, yo.
Nigga, it was only funny when T-Rex said that shit to Math in the battle. Look, I'm telling you.
The whole thing where they was doing the bunny hop while they was having. Come on, yo, that's not funny.
No, it didn't. And listen, when Snoop Dogg said that dumbass line before he died in that movie, I bust out laughing because of how dumb it was. When she came in talking about he stank, that I laughed. I laughed at that. That shit was funny. Or when the kid's like, I hate you. He's like, I hate you too, little nigga.
Little nigga.
I thought but
okay.
No.
All right, fine.
Get that
All right.
right.
So my next thing would be it's only 2 left. I'm going to have to, as much as I don't fuck with Cube no more,
Mm.
I'm gonna have to keep Friday. Friday just has provided so many laughs throughout the
Like now.
trilogy. Yeah,
Like one of the best clips on this show is me doing that about you eating grapes.
Uh-huh.
Oh no, you was
Facts.
eating
I was eating pistachios.
pistachios.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, it's just Friday is the classic of hood classics. Like it's you can't get rid of Friday. So yeah, I'm keeping Friday.
And ditto, gotta keep Fridays also because as much as I like Boys in the Hood, I did feel bad at the end of Boys in the Hood. Like that scene where Cube walked off and then he faded out and they said 2 weeks later he was gunned down. That shit made me feel bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Also,
absolutely.
Just as an aside, originally when what's the dude's name? I think he passed away. That wrote John Singleton.
Yeah.
That wrote Boys.
He did Baby Boy too.
He did Baby Boy as well. But also, you know, when he first wrote that, you know, who he intended that role to be for.
Who?
All of NWA.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah. But by the time, you know,
Cube had defected.
But yeah, he intended that for all. And I don't know how good that movie would have been with them in their place because I don't know as far as acting with them.
Right.
But I know that I did really want to see what that would have been like.
Actually, I'm pretty sure Drake can't act.
I'm fairly certain Drake can't act.
Fairly certain I've seen him in something, and I'm like, oh boy.
No, that's not. And I'm pretty sure Easy wouldn't have been good at that either.
Yeah.
Ren, I'm not sure about Ren. I'm not sure about MC Ren, but I do know that because I wasn't sure about Ice Cube, to be honest. That was the first role I remember him in.
Right.
So,
right.
But it would have been interesting to me, especially given the persona they had at the height of NWA's popularity, to see them in that role would have been interesting to me. That would have been interesting.
All right.
The rain?
Yes, it's supposed to thunderstorm scattered today.
Yo, outside my back door, it looked like it's 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah, no, it started like it started to get a little darker.
Holy shit!
I sensed it. Like I'm sitting here, I'm like, why did the light change? And I looked up and I'm like, is my light dying? I'm like, no.
Right.
Okay. I turn around. I'm like, oh yeah, that's what's going on. All right. Next category is Black Sitcom Mom. It's only 3 of these.
Okay.
Again, there are no extra stakes with this particular one. Aunt Viv, Harriet Winslow, Dr. Huxtable.
Wait, what were the first 2?
Aunt Viv from Fresh Prince.
And Harriet Winslow.
Family Matters, right?
So there's only 3?
Yeah, it's only 3 for this one. All right, go ahead, Tim.
I'm thinking. Because there is
I think this is a little bit of a tough one. It's not as tough for me, actually.
It's not super, super tough, but it's one of these things where I got to figure out who I liked for different reasons, right? And prioritize that reason. So I'm going to keep No. I'm gonna get rid of. Hold up, it's Aunt Viv. It's what's the name? Mother Winslow.
Not Mother Winslow.
Harriet Winslow.
Yeah.
And what was that third one again?
Huxtable.
Bye. Bye. Sean just said which Aunt Viv. Does it matter?
No. It's just Aunt Viv. Whatever you take from Aunt Viv is that's what it is.
All right, yeah. Miss Huxtable can go.
Okay. Why?
Mainly because of her stance on a lot of stuff now soured me on that whole entire thing.
I kind of figured you would say that.
Nah,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Good on that.
I get it.
Oh, so this is Claire Huxtable, not
Yes,
Thea.
Claire. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, and I mean, even beyond what the actor said in real life, just as from the just based on the character, I just found her to be too over the top.
Hmm.
I think when she, I just never liked the character that much.
Mm.
Always thought she was too stern.
Mm.
She didn't have any softness at all.
Okay. Well, it's a clean sweep. But my reason is different. I never liked the Cosby Show. So yeah, there's no scenario in any universe where I keep anything from the Cosby Show over anything else.
No, that's right.
Because I was never a fan of the Cosby Show. So yeah. All right. Tim.
All right. This is not that difficult for me.
Me neither.
And Viv can go.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is because Harriet Winslow reminded me of every aunt I've ever had. And I didn't have anybody even close to Aunt Viv. Yet I'm sitting here thinking, no, nobody. When I saw Harriet Winslow, that reminded me of family.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. Joe.
Okay. I'd say this is kind of tough. Somebody made the point which Aunt Viv. I like the first Aunt Viv better, which is kind of funny because the second
Pretty
one,
much everyone does.
yeah, I mean, even though the second one actually is softer,
Yeah.
I think the first one's more balanced. But yeah, I think Winslow is probably better of the two.
Okay.
So yeah.
And finally,
So I'm the exact opposite of you.
I know.
Tim.
I knew.
Literally the exact opposite. Like for the same exact reason. Like, no, I didn't have anybody like Aunt Viv, but that's not why I watch. Like, that's not why I watch these things. I watch these things for escapism, mainly.
Yes, I hear you with that. However, when you making the decision, at least for me is concerned, is when I like a character, there are sometimes I like a character because they're completely unrelatable to me, and it's interesting. But there are other times I like characters because, I love this person. It reminds me of something.
No, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
So yeah. it wasn't her being unrelatable.
Mm-hmm.
It was me wishing I had that.
You wished you had Aunt Viv?
Yeah. Oh yeah, hell yeah! Especially Aunt Viv 1. What?
Aunt Viv
absolutely. Yeah. I wish I had. Oh yes, absolutely. So yeah, Aunt Viv. It's Aunt Viv for me. All right, last category. Damn, I kind of wish I didn't save this for last.
Too late. You blew it.
This category is rap R&B collaboration. And there are no stakes because we're not talking about people, we're just talking about a song. You're All I Need, Meth and Murray. If I Ruled the World, Nas and Lauryn Hill. You Got Me, The Roots, and it's Erykah Badu, but it's also Jill Scott. It depends on which version you hear. Jill Scott actually wrote it, so whatever. But Erykah Badu sung on the radio version of the song, so whatever. And it was harder than it should have been coming up with a fourth. And I realized after I wrote the third one that I also had the theme going of male and female artists. I kind of messed that up with the fourth one, but the last one is the Only You remix, 112 featuring Biggie and Mace.
All right, the one with the Roots,
yeah,
that can go first.
Word.
It was cool, but that's not what it's not I already know which one's going to survive. By the way, that shit plays in my head.
I think I know which one is going to survive.
But
for
yeah,
you. But anyway,
that one's about here.
Okay, all right, Joe.
All right, so what Sam again?
You're All I Need. Method Man and Mary J. Blige. If I Ruled the World, Nas and Lauryn Hill. You Got Me, The Roots, and Erykah Badu or Jill Scott, depending on which version. Also Eve. Eve was on that song too. And Only You remix, 112, Notorious B.I.G. and Mason Betta.
Not a huge fan of Erykah Badu. So
Okay.
that one can go.
Okay. Shit. This is the hardest one for actually this might be the hardest one for me. Because if we're just talking about the people involved.
Mm-hmm. But there's no stakes, so
actually if we were just talking about the people involved, it wouldn't be as hard. But the fact that I'm thinking about the people involved, it's hard to get rid of Method Man. It's hard to get rid of Mary J. Blige. It's hard to get rid of Nas. It's hard to get rid of Lauryn Hill. It's hard to get rid of Black Thought. It's hard to get rid of Erykah Badu, Jill Scott, Eve, Biggie. And that's where the difficulties stop. I have no issue getting rid of 112. I have no issue. I have more issue, but less than hard to issue getting rid of Mace. Mm-hmm. But that honestly may have been the song out of all of them that I listened to the most when it came out.
Interesting.
So
which one?
I'm going to get rid of. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of the Only You remix.
All right. Okay. 112. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye. See you later. Get it about here. Why? Quite frankly, because I wasn't that big of a fan of that song.
Sure. Yeah. Sure.
Like, you would hear it and go, okay. But
yeah,
at no point did I ever say, I need to hear that.
Right.
No.
I feel you. All right, Joe.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep Method
Wait, no. You went out of turn, goddamn. You're supposed to tell you what you're getting rid of next.
Well, I don't know the other song, so
okay, cool.
Got you.
All right. So you're keeping Your All I Need. My next one that I'm getting rid of, this is where it gets super hard for me. I have no idea which one of the three. Even as I'm speaking, I don't know which one I'm getting rid of yet. If we're just going bang for buck, for me, I can't get rid of You Got Me yet because I got a verse from Black Thought, I got a verse that I like from Eve, and I got singing from Jill Scott or Erykah Badu. So it's hard for me to get rid of that yet. I'm gonna get rid of If I Ruled the World because of what I explained.
Right.
When I heard that there was going to be a Nas and Lauryn Hill song, I wanted to hear Lauryn Hill rap.
Yeah, me too.
And that is not what I got on that song. I'm happy that that's what we got on this new one.
Right.
Because she killed it.
Right.
But that is not what I got on this song. So because of the disappointment that I had, even though I ended up loving the song, because of the initial disappointment, that's the next one I got to go.
Nah, I'm there. That has to go.
Okay.
For very similar reasons. I wanted to hit. For those of you that wasn't there, wasn't paying attention to that, Lauryn Hill is a nasty MC. Like just her flow, her wordplay, the visuals. She I wish she rapped more in her career.
Bruh.
You know what I'm saying? Because like she was putting dudes to shame. Like it wasn't even close with her and a lot of them guys back then. She was
bro.
And nobody in her crew, Fuji's,
not even close.
Nobody. Nobody.
That's actually funny. A side note, there was a battle. Somebody, I think Hallelujah Jones is his name, and he dissed Wyclef in the battle. He said something about Lauren. Lauren's my favorite Fuji anyway. Blah blah. This fuck Wyclef, something like that. Wyclef responded with bars, and they were actually all right.
Let me ask you this though.
He started. Yeah.
Did him and Lauren make up?
Oh yeah, the Fuji's back together.
Yeah, Lauren wrote those. I'm saying Lauren wrote those. Fuck that.
Listen, the Fuji's are back together. You stupid. The Fuji's back together. They have been touring recently, so yeah, they're back together. But
wait a minute, have all of them been touring?
All three of them. They've been late.
Is Lauren
they've been late, but they've been showing up. And he started off with, Lauren's my favorite Fuji too, because that it was perfect to because what's going on right now. They just got back together. That's a perfect opportunity to A, promote the Fugees.
Yeah.
B,
I see that.
That I'm still hip hop, and then respond to some schmuck that nobody really knows. But anyway, all right. So I'm going to be keeping. Fuck. Yeah, I'm probably with you. I'm gonna keep You're All I Need. Because just the visceral feeling.
As soon as the motherfucker plays.
Boom, 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 boom.
I just want to say I went and listened to the Nas joint.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like it, so I'm glad I eliminated it.
Mm-hmm. Right. Listen, it's something iconic about that meth, and one that was unexpected. When it first came out, I wasn't expecting that. Because I had just heard METHOD.
Right.
And that put me on to all of the other stuff, right? Yeah. They dropped that fucking mouth. To this day, that's a permanent, that's headcanon. So none of those other songs did that for me. Like in 2021, that's still a song that if it plays, I want to listen to it.
Word.
I'm not skipping it. I'm not doing none of that other.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Whenever that song comes on, I generally listen to it. It's not the Rock Wilder.
Not Rock Wilder.
But Rock Wilder still doesn't get skipped. I've never skipped the Rock Wilder.
Rock Wilder is God tier.
Yeah.
When you want,
this is the Rock Wilder. Meth and Mary is right here.
Yes. Rock Wilder. I just got to gush for a minute. Rock Wilder. When you want a song, there are a lot of hip hop songs that I absolutely love, right? But this is the one song that screams hip hop to me. Everything from
the video,
to the beat, to the way they was rapping, going back for that screams hip hop to me. So yeah. But anyway, I think that's it for the show.
That is absolutely it for the show.
First,
we'll be back at some point with the articles. It may happen next week. It may not happen next week because I am fed up with y'all. I am legitimately
people suck.
The beginning of the episode was not for play. We were not performing. That was not us in our Black Culture Geek characters. That was the humans. The humans behind the characters were what was talking in the beginning of this. I'm fed up with y'all.
People showed me this week. I'm disgusted with that shit.
Yeah.
But first we want to thank Brother Joe.
Absolutely.
For coming on the show. People come on the show. Lend a hand. Joe has been on the show numerous times. We just hung out with Joe a little while back.
Weeks ago.
Yeah.
Had a great day with that. We really appreciate you, Joe. Seriously,
thanks.
Really appreciate you, bro.
All thanks.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome, and I always appreciate anyone who gives me a chance to talk.
Word.
Word. I only wish that I had been able to get on last week. I hadn't seen the Chappelle thing when you guys were talking about it, so I really
to be fair, we didn't really talk about it that much.
We didn't.
We didn't really talk about it that much.
I would only say real quick in passing that. There were some good bits. There are a lot of bad bits, and the thing that stuck with me the most, though, is I felt that he weaponized our struggle to piss on another group.
I'm not mad at that take. Yeah,
we already talked about it. I didn't like that, and I didn't like him using the fact that he had a friend that that all of a sudden absolves him of anybody's criticism from
Exactly.
all of them. I don't like us to lionize that particular talking point because
it's a dog whistle.
Yeah, it's a dog
It's
whistle.
a dog whistle. Everybody
I
doesn't understand why it's an issue, but
I got a
for the
black
ones
friend.
that understand,
I got a black
yes,
friend. Yeah,
right.
I got a black
For
friend.
the ones that understand, it hits.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So I was just really angry about that, and it's like, well, of course it was easier for 55 years on. Of course it was easier for Caitlyn Jenner than for Muhammad Ali, but I don't hear anybody complaining about black athletes going Muslim and changing their name now. So it's like it was a stupid comparison.
Yeah, it's dumb. But anyway, we appreciate everybody getting on the show today, listening to us rant.
Absolutely.
And
that's why we ended with games, because we wanted to reward you for going through dealing with that beginning. We wanted to reward you guys for some fun.
Like I said, we were a little extra grumpy today, and I can't even lie to you and say that I won't be extra. Well, see, it's hard to tell with me.
Come on,
tell me. But either way, we appreciate you guys.
Absolutely.
Of course, when Addy gets back around to creating his live streams, I rather enjoy his gaming live streams. Go check out Addy's Game Room. He's trying to get he got a lot of stuff he got to get settled and put in place now so he can get back into the swing of things. So we all looking forward to that. Also, don't forget to check out the Rise podcast this Sunday. While I'm no longer on the show, that is still a great show for a great cause. Go check out my man Coach Squeeze and my man Coach Carbs.
Yep.
Oh, and Coach Kenny is on there too.
And I have videos coming.
Oh, and you just heard it. You heard it here, folks. Heard it here first, folks. Suri's mind is back. Right?
Word.
That's good news to hear. Also, check out Jaded Nerds Celebrity Gossip Beat on the Jaded Nerds channel. If you're interested in that sort of thing, go check that out. Please go check out Metas and Mutants with my man Super Side Guy. On that. And of course, never forget, if you're interested in supporting our comic book, Extra P and Entropy, there's a Patreon. You can go help us join. Go join that. Help us. We got a podcast on there, as well as there'll be other content that goes on there as well for your participation. We really appreciate the ones of you that have already, and we haven't even put the full court press on it yet. It's already people going there. Yeah, I definitely appreciate you early adopters. But yeah, so for my man SPJ, and for Joe, I am Tombstone the Dead Man. We are Black Culture Geeks, and we are out of here.